Hi everyone,
Hello everybody.
to another MSI Insider live show. I'm here today with Eric. He's not physically next to me, but it looks like he's next to me. So yeah, we're because of social distancing, we're a little bit apart, about 5 meters.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're both in the studio.
Far enough.
Far enough, far enough. Should we say?
Yeah, so that was the video, but now we're going to talk about the real product, right?
Yeah, so now I think everyone should know the topic by now with this introduction. Today we're going to talk about the new Intel Z490 motherboards from MSI.
Yeah. So those fingerprints on the mainboard, are those yours?
No, I think you put them here. I see some fingerprints as well.
Yeah.
What did you have? Hamburgers for lunch?
Yeah. Hey, but let's talk about the giveaway. We have a very nice giveaway today.
A very special giveaway because we will be giving away one of our new Z490 motherboards, the MPG Z490 Gaming Carbon Wi-Fi. It's a really nice model. Let me just... This model, and I should have the motherboard itself as well. So you can win this motherboard today. One of the viewers will not only take this motherboard, but also very new and shiny as well. Let me grab this.
You have no space left.
I have no space left with all these motherboards. Also, a cool new all-in-one water cooling set. It's an MAG Core Liquid 360R. It's already in the name, 360mm radiator. Really powerful water cooling rig. Really nice combination with the MPG Z490 Gaming Carbon Wi-Fi. And you can win this set today. So at the end of the stream, we'll draw a winner for this one. We also have another giveaway where we'll give away several $20 Steam wallet codes.
Yeah. So you can play games.
Yeah, so you can play games. But one viewer today will be very lucky and will win the motherboard and the water cooling. So I already see some questions in the chat. MSI has water cooling. Actually, this is one of the very first MSI all-in-one water coolers.
Yeah, we showed it a few weeks ago already, but it was still an engineering sample.
A little bit, but we didn't have a dedicated live stream about it yet. So in the future, you will definitely learn more about this. But it's a very, of course, 360mm radiator, very powerful all-in-one water cooling. So also perfectly ready for this new 10th gen Intel Core processors.
Yeah.
And you can win it today. So one person will be very lucky and will win the combination of the motherboard and the liquid cooling. And throughout the stream we will do several drawings for the $20 Steam wallet codes.
Yeah, so if you have any questions, just drop them in the chat. We're reading the chats. If you're on Facebook, best to join Twitch or YouTube. Yeah. And also if you're on Twitter, yes, we see your questions.
Yeah, so you can join the giveaway on msi.com/2/insider. Our bot will also spam it once in a while in the chat.
I didn't see it yet. I didn't see it yet.
Yeah, it should be one every 6 minutes. But did you enable the...
Yeah.
Okay, then it should be at least spent in Twitch and YouTube.
Oh, I don't see it yet. Anyway, we're almost 6 minutes talking, so it will probably
it will pop up
kick in soon. Okay, so and we have a lot of content today, right?
We have a lot of content and a lot of products today.
Yeah.
You can see the table in front of me. It was hard fitting everything in.
Yeah, some new models we didn't unveil yet. We're going to talk first a little bit about the platform, not too much because I think everybody already read about those. And yeah, we cannot show you any benchmarks today. So if you're waiting for that, sorry, still NDA. Intel split the NDA up into the unveiling, like, hey, these are our products.
Like the announcement of the
specs,
core processors and Z490.
Yeah, but benchmarks with the actual numbers still have to wait some weeks. Well, cannot comment too much about it.
We cannot say an exact date, but in the near future you will also see performance
that's what I said.
from these processors and motherboards, of course.
So maybe let's start.
Can you make the chat slightly bigger, by the way, Eric? It's a little bit hard to read from it.
Zoomed out or zoomed in?
Zoom in a little bit.
Zoom in. You're getting old. Your eyes are getting weak.
Yeah, my eyes are getting weak indeed.
Yeah. I know. I know how that feels.
Yeah, so we have many products here today. I think we have like 9 models here, right? So we should be able to show like pretty much all of them. So if you have any specific questions about specific models, also we can show some of that. Later on in the stream we will also go through every model individually. But let's first start with the new Intel platform. So Eric, pop up the slide. because here we have some information about this new 10th gen Intel Core processors. As we already mentioned, unfortunately we cannot show you any benchmarks today, but we can of course talk about what Intel already announced, some specifications, new socket, so new platform, also new socket, so socket 1200, LGA socket like we know from Intel. This also means that the new 10th gen Intel Core processors are not compatible with, for example, Z490 or older motherboards.
No, old CPUs don't work in the new boards, and new CPUs don't work in the old boards. Pity, but yeah, it's always like that.
Where did you put the CPUs?
I don't, in my bag. I'm going to take one home. I don't know.
We should have two CPUs somewhere here.
Okay, well, that's
we'll
maybe
try to find them
that's
later.
maybe for the future. We used to have two CPUs.
Yes. So yeah, the pin layout is different. They're the same size, but they don't have the same socket. So the pin layout is different. Also, it physically doesn't fit in the socket. So you have these small, like how do you call it? Like openings in the side and
keep out zone.
Yeah,
notches.
No, not the keep out zone. Like
notches.
on the CPU itself.
Notches.
Yeah.
Okay. I think everybody already knows this. I mean, it's faster. That's it.
It's like physically different. So before you had like CPUs that were physically the same but were not compatible with certain chipsets.
Yeah.
This is also physically different. So if you try to put the wrong CPU on the wrong motherboard, you can actually damage it. So
you will become friends with our RMA servers.
Yeah. Make sure not to do that. So if you're using one of these new processors, make sure you use it with an LGA 1200 motherboard.
Yeah,
really
so
important.
something new on this platform is terminal velocity boost. Normally Intel has a core frequency, a turbo boost frequency, and this is terminal velocity frequency. And basically that only kicks in when your platform is meeting some conditions, and one of them, an important one, is 70 degrees.
Yeah, so that's the thermal part. If your temperature, your CPU temperature is still below 70 degrees, you can unlock basically an extra boost mode in your CPU, and it will give you more performance.
Yeah.
So it's definitely worth it to invest in good cooling as well.
And that's also, later we will show you some temperatures of the CPUs. We will talk about cooling, we talk about VRM. This is all very important in this platform because things can get hot.
Yes.
What else? Faster memory support, and they did quite a lot of interesting things for overclocking. I think this is an interesting overclocking platform. They improved the heatsink on the cooling, the IHS it is, right? It's soldered again, so
it should give you indeed optimal thermal performance also if you want to do overclocking.
And they released a lot of CPUs, correct?
Yeah, many different models indeed.
So maybe
and more cores than in the previous generation. Yeah. So in the 9th gen Intel Core processors, it was up to 8 cores for the mainstream platform, that is. So what you could use on Z490, for example. So that was the 9900K, 9900KF, 9900KS. They're all 8-core processors with hyperthreading, so 16 threads.
Yeah.
In the new generation, for example, the Core i9 10900K is a 10-core CPU.
I see people already go to the mainboard, skip the CPU. So Michiel, maybe next 2 parts. I mean, we have an overview, 3.
So also faster memory, stuff like that. But when we look at the overview of these new CPUs, here you can see the 10900K, but also the KF. So that's the version
that's
without
the fast
integrated
one.
graphics.
And don't expect all of these CPUs that they come on the market directly. I mean, this will go in steps. First the i9s, later the i5s, i3s, and probably later they also have some Pentium and Celerons. Yeah,
usually they start with the higher end CPUs, and later on you will also see the more mainstream CPUs. So here you can see it's already quite a list. This is only Core i9, Core i7 that you can see now. You see many different models. Some have integrated graphics, some don't. You can see that with the F. The K SKUs have an unlock multiplier, so those can be overclocked. So for example, the 10900K, the KF, but also on Core i7 you also can get K models. So you can do overclocking with that. With the non-K SKUs you cannot. So 2 memory channels, all the same like the previous generation, but more cores, higher clock speeds, so obviously they will be a little bit faster. So if we continue to the next page, we also see i5, i3 models.
Yeah, like what I said.
An interesting change actually, because in the previous generation, the Core i5s, they were already 6-core processors. As you can see, they're still 6-core processors, but now they have hyper-threading. So basically, like if you would compare it to the 8th gen, this would be a Core i7 pretty much, because back in the 8th generation, the Core i7 had 6 cores, 12 threads, and now you already get that on Core i5. So that's a much lower price point. So basically you get more performance per dollar.
Yeah, some things changed. USB 3.2 Gen 2. It has an interface for the 2.5 gig Intel LAN chip. It has a CMVI, which is also custom PCI Express interface for Wi-Fi 6. And PCI Express lanes from Intel side still Gen 3. So no change over there, but later we will talk about Gen 4.
Because we do have something to mention about Gen 4.
Yes, and today we're only going to talk about Z490. And later, I don't know when, we will do another live stream about all our H470, B460 model, because there are also a lot of those models. So maybe let's find Henry.
Yeah, because we have our technical expert from our headquarters through Skype.
If he's still awake, because what is it? 11?
Yeah, it is. It's
10?
quite late there. Let me see. It is. Yeah, it's 10:15 in Taiwan right now. So Henry, are you there? Yeah, we need to resize Henry a little bit because he became very small.
Hi there. You hear
me?
Hey,
Henry, good to have you in the stream. Welcome.
Hello.
Are you already a little bit sleepy?
Yes. I'm okay. It's only 10 p.m. now.
Oh, that's okay.
Cool. Should be okay. So throughout the live stream, we will see your eyes go down a little bit, get more sleepy.
It's early for me.
This is perfect because your kids are already to bed, so they're not running around, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so Henry is one of our engineers. If you remember, in December we did a live stream. Michiel and me, Mike and me, we visited HU and or HU headquarters in Taiwan. And Henry also showed us around. He's a mainboard engineer, product manager. So he's making all the mainboards. Some people are already saying, hi Henry, they still remember you. And whenever we have difficult technical questions, you might have some questions about, we will invite him.
Yeah, so we have some technical topics also to discuss with Henry today. So if you have very difficult technical questions, now is your chance to
again
fire
here
them at Henry.
I hope I can help.
I'm sure you can, See some questions in chat. Jakub's asking, XR7 Tomahawk when? Should be available soon, so check with your local retailer to see when it will be available in your country.
You're talking AMD?
Differs per country. Yeah, it's just a question in chat, Eric.
Okay.
Repo Man is saying to Henry, just don't fall asleep on the keyboard. Henry will be fine.
No, I won't. I won't.
Yeah. So our new motherboards. We have a lot to talk about. And I think we have a very cool visual here where the motherboard opens up. And there we can see all the cooling for the motherboard, for example. Maybe you can tell a little bit about... we see the Godlike here right now. So maybe you can tell a little bit about what we did.
You have Godlike also there, right?
We have Godlike right here in front of us.
Yeah, so cooling is very important, right? Is this different compared to Z390, to last generation?
Yeah, because everybody noticed that the 10th generation from Intel, technically the TDP, the power consumption from Intel POR is 125 watts, but normally it's really unrealistic numbers. So when you're doing overclocking or even some full loading in the daily life, normally it will generate like 150, 160, always above 125 watts from Intel spec. So the cooling, the thermal dissipation solutions always important for such high-end platform in Z490.
And this is becoming a little bit of a trend in like recent CPU generations, right? You have like the TDP level, but most of the time that's based upon base clock levels. But because of all those boost techniques that are being used right now. For example, thermal velocity boost, but also the regular turbo boost techniques. They will draw the power draw of the CPU quite far beyond the TDP, right?
Yes, of course.
And also, for example, when you use AVX instruction set, that also makes a huge difference on the power.
So maybe we can show
CPU.
in detail, Michiel?
Sorry? Oh, it should be. There we go. The detail cam.
No, this is what I was talking about.
Yeah. Here you see the cooling on the Godlike in detail. And as you can see, we also have two fans on, let me see, we have stacked fin array. So this is for the Godlike. I can also show the Godlike right here, actually.
Yeah, we can.
Let me just grab the board. It's always nicer to actually see it. I will leave some fingerprints probably. So this is our MSI Z490 Godlike motherboard. So
the cable at the bottom is to show the RGB LED.
Yeah, we have a
and the
small
fingerprints are from Mike.
Yeah, sure. So this is the model we also saw on the slide, and right here on top you can see there is a stacked fin heatsink, and also on the side right here below this there is also stacked fin heatsink. Maybe a little bit hard to see, but if we go to the slide it's a little bit easier to see. So let me put this to the side again. Eric, can you pull up the slide again?
Yeah.
Yeah, and as you can see, we also have two fans incorporated.
Why don't we take it apart later?
Yeah, later. I don't think this model is very easy to take apart, but we can disassemble some.
That's the challenge.
Yeah,
you always take the one which is difficult.
Yeah, so we also have two small fans incorporated in the VRM cooling design. Can you maybe explain a little bit about that, Henry, and why they are there, how they work?
I mean, which part? The cooling
the fans on the VRM cooling.
Oh, okay. The VRM cooling is relatively important for such high-end motherboard compared with co-work with the 10th generation CPU. So basically, without the active cooling, the thermal dissipation solution on the Godlike is already good enough for the 10900K CPU. But in the end, Godlike is an overclocking motherboard. So active cooling is the best weapon for overclockers. They achieve a higher records, a higher speed for them. So active cooling is definitely a very good feature for the overclocking.
So this is really for people who really want to push their CPU to the maximum.
Yes.
So if you will just run your CPU at stock, you will not hear any fan noise, obviously, but they will start running if you really push your CPU to the maximum.
I see a lot of questions about memory. We will talk later about memory.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
can you, Michiel, can you maybe show the back side of the motherboard?
Sorry, I totally missed your question, Eric. What did you say?
Can you maybe show the back side of the motherboard?
So this cooling solution with the fans will be available on all MSI enthusiast gaming motherboards, so the MEG models.
Because I had a question about the cooling on the back side. So we have some extra cooling pads on the, strips on the VRM.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Let me just put this down a little bit. So you see them here on top and on this side behind the VRM on the motherboard.
And we have a question from somebody on Twitch. He said, he is asking the other heatsink, or the other cover on the bottom of the main board.
This part.
Yes. Will this help for cooling as well?
No, this is not a cooling backplate. This is to strengthen the motherboard itself, so you don't get any bending or.
Yeah.
So it's really to make the motherboard more sturdy.
Okay.
Also protecting your hand.
Yeah. So these are behind the VRM. They are made for cooling, and they will also help with the cooling. And this backplate is made to make the motherboard more sturdy, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
E. Jensen 86 is asking, what bearings do the fan have, Henry?
Dual ball bearing.
Dual ball bearing. So,
I think your next slide is about that, Michiel.
I think it should be somewhere in here, maybe already.
No.
No?
Next slide. Yeah.
Yeah, so the Frozr heatsink design. And we also have special thermal pads in between the heatsink and the power stages, right?
Yep.
So these should make sure you have better heat transfer from the VRM design to the VRM cooling.
Yes, because generating the airflow is also important for thermal dissipation. So we make sure we conduct all the heat from, for example, the MOSFET through the thermal pad and the heat pipe and up to the stacking array, and generating the airflow also have the higher efficiency to take away the heat.
Yeah. And these are the similar design like we had on X570, yeah? So you can shut them down, they're running slower depending on the temperature, right?
Yes, yes.
Michiel?
Yeah,
for the daily life,
zero froster technology.
Yeah, next.
Yeah.
Michiel's a little bit slow today.
I'm slow. I was watching you resize Henry. But it's the right size again. Yeah, so dual ball bearings, we talked about this, and this makes the fans more durable, more silent. So also, if you use your motherboard for several years, your fans will still be fine.
Repo Man is asking what type of motherboard they are. ATX or extended
the
ETX?
godlike I just had here is an extended ATX motherboard. So with this motherboard, of course, be careful. Your case should be large enough for this. Not all other computer cases support it.
All other boards are ATX, except we have one micro-atx, of mini-itx and one micro-atx.
Yes. We will show about all individual models later. So here we, for example, see the IO shield.
Can you show this on the motherboard as well?
On the, of the ITX model. Let me just grab it because it's all the way on the other side. There we go. So here you have the IO shield on the motherboard, and there you see the ventilation hole. So behind this, the fan is incorporated.
And can you show this from the front? So you don't see any fan there.
So it's all hidden.
Yeah.
So here you have the all aluminum heatsink on top. And then you have the venting holes in the IO shield. It uses zero froster technology, so if you don't need additional cooling, so basically if you don't do any extreme overclocking with it, the fan will just shut down, so it will be completely silent. And you can also set different profiles for this in the BIOS.
We have a question from Theo Sam. What about, Henry again, anyway. What about dust? Will that be an issue? Dust and overheating. Will dust in the fan, will it cause overheating?
Theoretically, yes. Dust is also what we worried about. But I think there's also minor if you have a DIY tool that you can also clean your motherboard from time to time. So I think it's also a trade-off, or you have to pay the effort to have you have this in mind and to achieve a higher frequency with air cooling.
Yeah, so this is the problem on nowadays mainboards. The speeds are getting higher, more cores, so the CPUs draw more power. And the VRM also needs to be able to run this, which is basically no problem, because I think our VRM on Godlike can, for example, just run the CPU without any cooling. But we just need, because people will overclock and they will do crazy stuff.
And this is like if you want to do heavy overclocking, then you will use the fans.
Yes. But normally they're almost at 0 RPM, let's say like that.
With zero froster, they actually are at 0 RPM. So if there's no additional cooling needed, they will be completely silent. But of course, you can force them in the BIOS to have them switched on. You can set them, for example, to silence mode, balance mode. But also that you have them running all the time, right? If you would prefer so. Henry, still there?
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay.
So
we
Edwin,
do have a mechanism in the BIOS to to adjust the fan curve to control the mouse fan over there. So it was suitable for the daily life. If you only want to some quiet environment, then you can just stop spinning the fan.
Edwin K is already talking about the next topic, Michiel.
This one?
No, the one after this. But anyway, maybe show this indeed. This is what we already had a long time. We started with it, I think, in B450, right, Henry? Extended heatsink.
I think even B360 already.
That is the most one of the most successful feature from MSI, because
Michiel?
that
Can you show?
That directly show the performance of how to cooling down the,
for example, this one.
The temperature from the MOSFET.
Yeah, so this is, for example, I have the MEG Z490 Unify here.
Yeah.
And here we have an all aluminum heatsink on top. And why is it important to make it so big, Henry?
Can you show the sides?
Yes.
Because this is all the passive cooling components. So the bigger size, it can accumulate more heat. So when you generate airflow, you can take away the heat. Then it will efficiently cooling down the temperature of the MOSFET and also the other components.
Yeah, and we have this on a lot of different models, because here, for example, I have our MPG C490.
Each time I switch to a different camera, Henry will become smaller or bigger.
Yeah, so even these are more affordable models, and this already has extended heatsink cooling. So you can find it on many of our models.
Because all aluminum heatsink or the extended heatsink, they are big, so it's quite heavy for the motherboard. So be careful. Yeah.
No, Edwin K was asking about the VRM.
That's a good point, because we will talk about that right now. So the VRM design, of course, is not the same throughout all motherboards. For example, the Godlike will have a more extreme VRM design than the more entry-level models, and that's because these very high-end motherboards like the Godlike, they're really made for extreme overclocking. So yeah, if we, for example, break down the power design on this Godlike motherboard, this is like basically the maximum you can do nowadays in terms of VRM design, right, Henry?
Yes. Of course.
So maybe you can tell a little bit about the VRM design on the Godlike.
Okay. For Godlike, we have 16 phases for the CPU V core, and with the power stage up to 90 amps. So that is the highest architecture for the Z490 motherboard for overclocking. Even you push to the extreme or the air cooling, even the LN2 is always capable to push to the extreme.
Yeah, so 90 amp power stages, they're basically the strongest available nowadays.
Yeah, the strongest. Yeah.
And then there is 16 of them.
Yeah.
I just calculated this, and I got 1.4. What is it then? Kilowatt?
What?
That you can push through it.
Yeah.
Yeah, could be if you did the quick math.
No, well, not quick. My calculator did it. Anyway, that's a lot.
Yeah, so we also have dual 8-pin power connectors on this model, for example, to make sure that not only that the board can draw enough power, but also that you can do load balancing. So, for example, you could even use 2 different power supplies to power the CPU if you're going to do extreme overclocking. But also by using 2 of the 8-pin connectors, you will also spread the heat more. So if you would only use 1, it could get really hot, and if you spread it over 2, the temperature will be lower.
Yeah, that's another way, yeah.
I have an interesting question from Ryan, I think Ryan Brown. Without going over the top on overclocking, what motherboard would you recommend for the 10900K? That's an interesting question, because, of course, I mean, this has a really heavy power of a VRM, but you don't need that. I mean, of course, Godlike offers a lot of features, other features besides VRM. But if you just want a modest mainboard, you can do a modest overclock.
Me?
Are you then talking? I mean, like something like a Tomahawk or?
Oh.
If you just want to do a little bit of overclocking.
Michiel, you have some boards over there, right?
Yeah. Like, for example, if you want to do moderate overclocking, you said, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so for example, you have the Tomahawk right here.
Can this run the 10900 overclocked? 10900K?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, of course.
So in here you also see the how do you say that? Extended heatsink indeed.
Cooling indeed. This is all made out of metal.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, from the power solution we have on the Z490, all the Z490 motherboard we're using 12 phases for the CPU vCore, and also we implement 6-layer PCB for all Z490 motherboards. So basically, they are already capable for the highest 10900K CPU.
So basically, you can use the 10900K on any of these boards in front of me, but based basically upon how far you want to overclock it, then you might need a stronger model. So if you want to do extreme overclocking, you would use, for example, an MEG series model, the enthusiast models like the Godlike, the Ace, the Unify. If you want to do moderate overclocks, you would get, for example, the Gaming Carbon Wi-Fi. And for example, if you want to run them stock, you can also use like a Dash 8 Pro or a Gaming Plus model, right?
People are talking about layers, etc.
Layers we'll definitely talk about.
So this is how the VRM works, right?
Yes, they are work each other. You know, more layers, more PCB layers. Not only for.
Maybe Michiel, go to layers.
Yeah.
Those are a little bit further.
Okay. Yeah. Then we first maybe talk about VRM temperatures because that's what we're talking about. This is quite technical.
Yeah, so we have mirrored power arrangement on the enthusiast models. Can you maybe explain what the mirrored power arrangement is?
Mirror power arrangement is basically it's only the most important point is how to optimize the current from the PWM IC through all the MOSFET to the CPU in very balanced way. You see, so even in our mirror power arrangement, it can balance the current from the CPU 12 volt connector to to input to the CPU to make it more stable and make sure the power draw is also reliable.
So Henry, if I'm a gamer, should I care about this?
You have MSI, so you don't have to worry about that.
Right? Good answer. Good answer.
But basically, this means that like it's balanced, like extremely equally between the different power phases, right?
Yes, exactly. Thank you.
So you have like a doubler. First, you have the PWM controller. Then you have a doubler that does perfect balancing in between the power stages. So each doubler will, of course, have 2 phases connected to it. So you have 8 doublers, 16 phases in total on, for example, the Godlike, the Ace, and also the Unify ATX. So the automated CPU vCore adjustment, Henry, can you maybe explain a little bit about what this does?
Oh, okay. It's a big effort, be honest. For our R&D team, they spend tons of time to, it's like a database. It's like a database to fine-tuning all the different CPU, different quality of CPUs, especially I'm talking about a 10 gen CPU. They accumulate a database to binning the CPU piece by piece. So they can have a control table to detect the CPU that end user they install in the motherboard, and it will automatically given the optimal CPU vCore voltage for this CPU installed on the motherboard. So
that means that even if you have like the same CPU, so for example, like 2 times a 10900K CPU, they're never identical, right? There is like a difference in quality in between these CPUs. So the motherboard will automatically detect the quality of your CPU basically and what vCore it needs for that, right?
Yes, that's correct. So
and that was my question. What if I'm a gamer? How does it help me? Our goal, our target is helping some gamers or some dummy users who don't know how to overclock or who don't really understand how to adjust the CPU vCore voltage. So it's a very easy way to helping them to get the higher overclocking, to get the performance as well.
and also to make sure the CPU V-core voltage are optimal and safe for their system. Yeah.
Yeah, because if you put the V-core too high, you get some burning smell, right?
You won't with the MSI motherboard.
Okay, why not?
Because it's safe and and high performance.
Okay.
But it will also help you, for example, with your power draw. So your CPU doesn't take unnecessary power from the CPU socket. So you will, of course, see this on your power bill, but your temperatures will also remain lower, so your system will be more silent. So yeah, there are multiple benefits of this. Let me see if we have some more questions.
Yeah, I will check the questions. You just go.
Okay, then I'll just continue.
But there are so many questions.
Yeah, it's really hard to
a lot about memory.
I'm really sorry if I did not answer your specific question, but we're monitoring all chats right now. So we have Twitch, YouTube, Mixer, Facebook, Periscope, etc., etc. So chat is going really
Is there a new BIOS or UI? No, it will be roughly the same.
Yes.
Shakifa TV.
Yeah, it's based on ClickBIOS 5.
Some people, where do we enter the giveaway? If you go to msi.com/2/insider, you will see a button over there.
Screen right now.
Or our spam bot will also spam it each 6 minutes in the chat.
So maybe it's time to draw a first winner for
that's
$20 Steam code.
Yeah.
Because we will be giving away several $20 Steam codes throughout the stream. But at the very
so this
end
is
of the
not
stream,
for a motherboard. Let's go to.
This is not for the motherboard and the water cooling, but at the end of the stream.
Oh, Henry,
I
don't know what it is with our Skype connector. You're jumping from small to big.
I think the resolution is changing dynamically, so it's,
we need to work on that.
So one lucky winner at the end of the stream will win an MPG Z490 gaming carbon Wi-Fi motherboard and an MAG Core Liquid 360R water cooling, brand new.
But this one is a Steam code.
This one is a Steam.
Yeah, so put that away.
I will put it away. But
otherwise I get
if you want
confused.
to have a chance to win, make sure to sign up for the giveaway.
Yes. So the first winner for a $20 Steam wallet code is Chris P. Congratulations, Chris. In the coming days we will send you the Steam wallet code by email. So to be clear, you didn't win the motherboard or the water cooling.
Yeah, but still, $20 Steam code. It's something. It's something.
I need to be very clear today.
Yes.
Otherwise, I get emails again.
To the external clock gen for the CPU and the PCI Express. So this is a new feature on our Z490 motherboards, right, Henry?
Yes.
So we have like an external chip that can decide the frequency of your PCI Express. So what does this do?
In the past, from Intel platform, they're barely to allow end user to overclock the PCIe clock because they are connected to the CPU base clock each other.
Yeah,
so,
everything was linked together.
They're not allowed. Yeah, they are synced together. So right now, from MSI, we have a new solution that allows people, end user, they can do the slightly overclocking on the PCIe. So it will generate a certain performance on the PCIe devices. For example, a graphics card or the SSD. Yeah. So that's the benefit to get small performance numbers from the PCIe overclock.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so it's a couple of percentage, but basically what it does is it gives you more bandwidth on your PCI Express interface, right?
Yes.
And basically, this will, it's not only giving you more bandwidth, this I think will also help with overclocking, because in the past everything was linked together, so you couldn't push certain, your bus too high, because your VJ card would crash.
Yes, for in the past, it's a very, risky to overclock PCIe, especially when you're pushing the CPU clock. So just make sure that you're safe with this feature.
Okay, cool.
Phil is already saying in chat, I shouldn't spill my drink on these brand new motherboards. I will try not to spill anything on them.
He hears you opening the can.
Yeah. I see some questions about PCI Express Gen 4. So let's maybe continue. First we'll talk about the PCI Express layout, but later on we'll give you more of an explanation.
Yeah, we also got a lot of questions from people. How is this connected? Is this PCI Express or is it SATA? In each manual, we have these kind of overviews. We call them PCI Express block diagrams or layout. You can find exactly which slot or which connector is connected to which chip. Because some people who understand this, they know some lanes are coming from the CPU, some are coming from the PCH, basically the chipset. And yeah, then you can clearly see, okay, this M.2 slot, I can only run in, for example, PCI Express, or I can also run in SATA, and it's connected by X4. So all the data is here, and I think this is very interesting for people.
Yeah, so we have two different models here, the Z490
just as an example,
and the Z490-A Pro, and you can see quite some differences here. So even though they're the same chipset, of course they have different features on the motherboard, and specific features need specific PCI Express connection to the chipset. So they are quite different. Also, you can put more different graphics cards on the Godlike, for example, than you can on the -A Pro. You have SLI support, so you have special switches for that. You have, of course, Wi-Fi on the Godlike, 10 gigabit LAN, stuff like that. So they all draw lanes, so that's why this
oh my god,
this provides so much information, so you know exactly how it is attached internally on the motherboard.
Henry, I'm starting to wonder if you come closer to the webcam, probably it switches resolution or something, because then I see the image getting smaller or bigger.
Okay, so Henry, sit still.
Yeah, sit still. All of these models have Mystic Light support. Yes, we will talk later about that. Not all have Mystic Light on the board, but at least they have a pin header you can connect to the rest of the system.
Yes.
Let me scroll down. Will it possible have the motherboard schematics? Yes, these are all included in the manual. So you just download the manual from the MSI.com website. Somebody is saying, Jamie, these great boards come out, I just built a PC yesterday. It's always like that. It's always like that. Overclock the non-K CPU. That's also an interesting question from Twitch, I believe. I cannot find it anymore. No, it's Joaquin from YouTube. Can we overclock the non-K CPUs? Because I saw some rumors online that this was possible, but normally it's only possible for 1 week and then Intel stops it again, right? Or AMD for that matter. So Henry, can you comment a little bit about that? Can non-K CPUs be overclocked, or how does it work? Don't say anything NDA, because maybe we're not allowed to talk too much about this.
Then I better shut up. No.
Choose your words carefully.
Non-K CPU doing overclocking. It's I think that is some kind of trick. Doing some backdoor solution in the BIOS, in the background. So system, for example, you create some noise, some loading for the CPU. So make CPU think there's some loading, and it can generate some higher CPU ratio. So to make you feel he's doing some overclocking, even even over the TDP rule. Yeah.
So it's not really overclocking. Manual overclock is more using the speed bins from Intel to reach higher performance.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so let's talk maybe a little bit about memory, I guess. Oh, maybe first about this.
About Gen 4. So we saw many questions about this in the chat. How about PCI Express Gen 4? Because all these motherboards are ready for Gen 4, right, Henry?
Yes. all the MSI entire Z490 motherboard ready for the PCIe Gen 4. So look at the slide. We put the Lightning Gen 4. It's a printing on the PCIe slot.
Can you maybe show me?
Yes, I can.
I never saw that.
And it's maybe hard to see, but I can try to show it. So it's
put it on the detail camera.
Right there underneath.
I cannot see
cannot
it.
See it.
No.
Yeah, it's really hard. Let me
it's
see.
hardly to see.
Let me see if maybe it's easier on this one. I can hold it close.
Everybody go to buy MSI motherboard. Then
can you see it?
No, maybe a little bit left and right.
The printing right there.
Angle?
Yeah,
anyway, there is some printing. We believe you.
It's hard. Yeah, I can see it, but it's hard to see on the camera.
A lot of effort.
Yeah. Okay. So yes, we are ready for the Gen 4 PCIe. As you
and
can
just
see,
to make it clear, this is not supported by Common Lake SCPU. So this is not supported by the 10th generation Intel Core processors. But our boards are prepared for this. Yeah,
someday everybody will see in the future.
So it's a secret.
Okay, so not only the PCIe slot, but also we need to implement Gen 4 ready clock gen, external clock gen, and also some redrivers.
So the chip we just talked about is also prepared for Gen 4 already.
Yes. And also the PCB, especially the PCB. You know, there's a strict rules for the PCIe Gen 4 schematics, especially the spacing, the ground, or the electricity signal.
So this is to ensure the signal quality, right? Because you need a very high signal quality to be able to run Gen 4.
So what kind of, because I mean, I know people want to be ready for the future. That's also what it says, ready for the future. What kind of cost does this add for the end user to a mainboard? I mean, okay, they buy this motherboard and in the future they upgrade the CPU, if possible, to Gen 4 in order to enable this. But what is this? Are we talking $5, $10, $50?
You mean
consumer price?
You mean Gen 4?
Yes, and making a motherboard Gen 4 compatible.
Yeah, making it ready for Gen 4.
For motherboard cost, it's quite, a big portion, like $10 plus. Okay.
So that's because you need like
and
a
$10
better
plus
PCB, and you need better drivers, better switches.
And that's cost or end user price?
Yes, of course. Because this is like a total solution, total package. So we don't want to miss any items, anything from PCIe Gen 4. So all of them we need them to put it on the motherboards. Okay. So that's why it costs.
Yeah. Okay. Well, but still, if people and I think everybody looks into this because especially SSD performance is better. VGA cards are also more and more VGA cards are compatible with this.
Yes, but right now for VGA cards it's not really the Gen 3 interface is not yet a bottleneck, but for SSDs you can already see that Gen 4 SSDs are much faster than PCI Express Gen 3 SSD. Okay, so now we're going to talk about memory, right? First about the layers, because it is related to memory, but this is also related to PCI Express Gen 4. Yeah. Because the layers on the PCB, they make a big difference for both memory speed and signal quality, right, Henry?
Yes, of course. Especially other than the memory signal quality or the Gen 4 spacing schematics, but also more PCB layers will also benefit on the temperature. Believe or not, the higher, more layer PCB, for example, 6 layer, is better than a 4 layer. You can lower down the temperature like 20 degrees.
Okay. So even if you have like the same VRM components and you put those components on a 4-layer PCB board or a 6-layer PCB, then you will get better VRM temperatures on the 6-layer PCB.
Yes, of course. You can see a big difference. Of course, it always depends on the scenario, what the system is running. But normally, the ideal situation is you can get better temperature on the 6-layer PCB or higher.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, and all of our boards have at least 6 layers. So even the most entry-level model that we have, the Z490-A Pro, is already a 6-layer PCB model. And we have 2 models that have even more than 6 layers.
More.
Godlike and
maybe you show them over there.
Yeah, so I have the Godlike right here. And this has an 8-layer PCB.
Can we count?
Yeah, this is, you will not be able to see this on the camera.
Pretend you are counting.
It looks like 1 layer, but there are actually 8 layers.
Okay, so and each layer has their own signals for memory, VGA, CPU, etc.
And then I have, let me just put this to the side, and then we have our MEG Z490i Unify, so that's a mini-itx motherboard. So we also have a micro-atx, but this is a mini-itx motherboard, and this has even a 10-layer PCB. So that's even 2 layers more than Godlike, and you might expect why is
Mike is in love with this model.
I like ITX, but this is like, oh man.
It's his baby.
Yeah, my baby, indeed.
When we in December visited our headquarters in Taiwan, he was like, oh, I love this one, but we need to change this, we need to change this. So they made all kinds of last moment changes for him.
Yep. That's basically how it goes.
Are you going to buy one?
ITX is always my baby.
Are you going to buy one?
I'm not sure yet. Maybe.
I guess so.
Or maybe I take this one.
You'll get a free one from HQ.
Oh, that's
no. Don't sponsor him. You're spoiling him.
I mean,
do I get a free CPU with it, Henry?
No. Not impossible.
Okay. Hey, but this has a 10-layer PCB, and the main reason that ITX has like 10 layers compared to, for example, 8 layers on the Godlike is the space on ITX, right?
Yes, exactly. Because the ITX, the PCB form factor is so small, so we want to make sure it also achieve our goal. For example, the PCIe Gen 4 supported, and also good enough VRM design, and also the other premium features. So we implement 10-layer PCB for the Z490i Unify motherboard. So this is like we are really crucial to us about the quality.
I have a question about the Z490As. It's a high-end board. Why only 6 layers?
I have it right here.
6-layer.
Well, okay. It might sound a little bit confusing, but 6 layers is not really only, it's actually quite much. But the main thing is that now all our models have a 6-layer PCB. So in the past you saw that, for example, the more entry-level models had 4-layer PCB. For example, models like these have a 6, and ultimate model like Godlike has an 8-layer PCB. But we upgraded the more entry-level models already to a 6-layer PCB. That's a lot. So it's plenty for Ace as well. And of course, this has a more powerful VRM design than, for example, the Gaming Plus or the Gaming Edge Wi-Fi or the Gaming Carbon Wi-Fi. So there's still differences. But on an ATX motherboard, 6-layer is already really good.
Yeah. Can we talk memory?
Yeah, we talked about layers, and this is closely related to memory, of course.
Yeah, I think it's interesting when we visit HU, we also visit TopPC, right? And his team.
Overclocker, yes.
Yeah. So and he's responsible, he and his team, for a lot of our efforts on memory. And I keep telling everybody we really sucked on memory in the past. Can I say sucked? Yeah, I mean, it's the truth. With DDR3, it was really a disaster. And I think at that moment I was still doing sales and so many incompatibility issues, people complaining. And for DDR4, we completely changed that with DDR4 boosts. And then I think this is his...
we made our weakest points our stronger.
Yeah, this is his Hall of Fame. I think his team also was, TopPC was also the first to do 6 gigahertz on memory. And he he keeps pushing that. So maybe talk a little bit about memory, Mike.
Yes. So memory speeds they're closely related also to the layers on the PCB. So because all these motherboards have at least 6 layers, we can get really high clock speeds on all of these motherboards.
Next.
So we'll go. Yeah. Here you can already see.
I need to wake him up sometimes. Sorry, guys.
So this is an overview also compared to Z490, so the previous generation, and you can see that even the 6-layer PCB models can already do 4,800 megahertz or higher. Then we have the Godlike that of course has an 8-layer PCB. It can even go over 5,000 megahertz. And on our ITX you can also do this and probably even overclock further. And the reason that ITX is so good for memory overclocking basically is that you only have 2 memory channels, two memory slots. So you always have 2 channels on Z490 at least. But because this only has 2 memory slots, you get a very clean signal from your CPU to your memory. So you don't have any interference from another slot. You don't have to daisy chain it to another slot. So you get a very clear signal. And combined with a 10-layer PCB, that will also improve your signal. It is so good on ITX that you can really get insane speeds, right, Henry? We also saw that on our Z390 ITX board. That board broke record after record.
Yeah, well, we'll keep pushing by Top PC internally. So yes, just like Mike said, more simple environment, the PCB design. For example, the ITX, you got a dual channel. The channel A and the channel B, but 1 DIMM per channel. So this is the best scenario for the extreme overclocking on the memory. Yeah. So Top PC keep pushing on that. Not only for the memory, because you need to push memory to the extreme, then you need a very good quality CPU. So this is a kind of big effort on both different key components.
Yeah, so you see some really high speeds here, but of course it's not just up to the motherboard you already mentioned. It's also up to the quality of the CPU, because of course your memory controller is inside your CPU. But of course this is also extremely dependent on the memory DIMMs you use. Yeah,
like Top PC daily life. He talked to all the different memory module house like Corsair, G-Skill, ADATA, and sort of like those companies. So
all those different memory vendors.
Yeah, all the different memory vendors, even the Samsung or Hynix. So they're binning the best memory module from time to time, and they also need to binning the CPU to have the cherry pick to combine with the best memory modules and to push the records on the memory.
So then you have to make sure you get the best CPU, the best possible chips, and with that combination you can really break the DDR4 speed records.
Yes, exactly.
I have some questions. My microphone was too loud, but that can also be me. A lot of people say, whoa, 5 gigahertz, amazing. And notice it doesn't say 5 gigahertz, it says 5 plus plus plus. So
you can get beyond, but of course this is very dependent. If you have very basic memory modules and if the quality of your CPU is a little bit lower, then of course you cannot achieve this. This is what the motherboard can basically do, but you need a CPU that can also do this, and you need memory modules that can also do this. So you need to have the perfect environment in all aspects. Yeah,
DDR5 is still some years out. I mean, I know everybody's talking about it, but before this is, it's easy to say, hey, we can put it on it's out, it's available, we can put it on a motherboard, but it needs to be volume, because if all the generation of motherboard switches to DDR5, then it needs to be affordable and it needs volume. So this is still a couple of years out.
Yeah, so even if DDR5 is on the market, if it's so expensive that still nobody can afford it, then it doesn't make sense to put it on a motherboard.
Yeah, exactly.
A good question. The 10th generation supports DDR4 2933. Does 5 gigahertz make much of a difference?
So I think the question is, does it make much of a difference in terms of speed between
in performance, gaming,
2933 megahertz or if you overclock it to over 5 gigahertz memory.
Yeah. Even for the memory overclocking, you can see 2 different points. If you go to 5 gigahertz memory, with like a loop, relaxed parameters, latency, you won't get better performance on write and read. But for MSI, we always have a target, not only the higher frequency, for example 5 gigahertz, but also we make sure we have a better performance on write and read. We won't sacrifice the performance. So
yeah, so you still get like maximum performance. So not only the high frequency, but also really the useful performance.
I have a question. I need to ask this because I think this person already asked it 8 times or 12 times. Daisy chain or T topology? Well, it's very simple. All MSI motherboards use daisy chain.
For this generation, yes.
And
but
last generation, and we already do that for several years.
Yeah, in recent generations, yes. we use daisy chain.
Can you confirm that, Henry?
Yes, for Z390, but Z490, if you...
But we have some older motherboards that you might still be able to find in the stores that still use T topology.
Yeah, but Z490, all daisy chain.
All these motherboards in front of me all use daisy chain.
Yeah. So I hope he can now relax, because I saw this question so many times.
Yeah, so if we continue on the memory design on these motherboards, on Z490 we also have something new, and it's called interdigital tabbed routing. So this has to do with the traces, right? Can you maybe explain what it is and what it does and how it helps you?
Maybe you can.
It's a new routing method to.
Godlike.
No, it's easier to show it on this one. I can show this closer up.
For all entire Z490 motherboard MSI.
It's very hard to see.
So it's a new method to balance. To balance the routing, spacing, or the length.
Maybe show the PPT.
Tracing, for the
Michiel?
Yeah.
From CPU to memory.
Next.
From CPU to memory.
Yeah.
One more.
There we go.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is like the traces. They are connecting the CPU to the memory slot, right?
Yes.
And how does the tabbed routing help with this? And will it give you, for example, a higher frequency, better signal?
I would say this new routing minimize the noise. You know, memory speed is really high frequency. So
that also means it's super sensitive, right?
Yes. So with this new tabbed routing, it will minimize the noise from different components. Make sure the signal from CPU to memory are simple and pure and stable and reliable.
My notebook is making so much noise. I think we need to ditch this one.
It's taking off.
Are you doing some rendering work on your notebook?
No, it's only Chrome which I have open and with the chat, and some people in the chat are complaining about it. What's that noise? Well, that's a notebook we use for the chat, but I think we need to replace it.
It's a very old notebook.
Yeah, it's an old.
Upgrade it to a newer, more solid one.
DJ Annex on Twitter is asking, when will X570 Tomahawk be released? It's already released, so please check with your local reseller. It should be available in most countries already.
Yes.
Yeah, it depends per country, of course. So, check with your reseller, and they will probably know when it should be arriving in your country. Maybe it already is there.
So another question about Memory Triad. So Memory Triad we improved. We added a lot of IC vendors, a lot of profiles, etc. And you can even create your own profiles depending on what settings you want. But this is really for advanced users, right?
Yes. Because from MSI point of view, we work with so many memory vendors. So you know, we collect like thousands and thousands memory sticks. So we accumulate like a memory database to fine-tuning the profiles and the presets with all different memory chips. So so the only one goal is to make sure user they can easily overclock their memory stick by their own, but you know they have to try it, right? So we give it the name memory try, so you can try and to push the maximum of the memory.
And a question in the chat: should I use XMP or memory try it? What is better?
XMP is easier, but
okay.
But memory try it. If you have time, you try it. I would say you might have more chance to push to the limit of the memory module than XMP profile.
Yeah, because XMP is basically like a safe profile that is set by the memory vendor. So it's like a preset in the SPD. It's a preset profile. So your motherboard automatically knows what those memory sticks are rated for. But with memory triage, you can actually go beyond of the frequency what they're officially rated for. So maybe your modules can do a much higher frequency than what you can find in the XMP profile. And with memory triage, you can go beyond that and basically get more performance out of the same memory modules.
Does the motherboard have RGB? Yes, of course.
Yeah, most of them do. Some don't have it on the motherboard themselves. But
maybe show the differences, because I keep getting this question.
Well, what did you want to see?
RGB.
On which the
just I want to show the difference to the people.
Oh, for example, I
like 8.
Let's grab 8. So this is a motherboard with RGB.
Can you connect the RGB?
Yes. I have to look where it... Wait, I need another head. Let me grab my cable.
I like this part. See him struggling.
And
Panic.
Let me find the header on the motherboard.
Oh, which one was it?
I know what it looks like, but yeah, I already found it.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, it's always approximately in the same location, so it's not very easy, or not very hard to find.
Mysterious Boy is saying memory try it says not compatible in my motherboard. Is that possible, Henry? Oh, you're here. Sorry.
Yeah, it's still possible, because even though we work with the memory vendor so close, but we cannot 100% guarantee we got the memory modules from worldwide.
Yeah. So
for example, we work some international memory modules company, but some of a memory module local company that we cannot access. But we will always find a way to access the new local memory modules. Then we can bring them.
I'm going to put off the light. I put out the light, Mike. Is this better?
Yeah, it's a little bit easier to see now. I still have some big lights in front of me, but should be able to see it. Yeah, so here on this motherboard you have 2 spots of RGB on the motherboard itself. We also have some motherboards that don't have any RGB on the motherboard itself. Let me just grab Unify here. So here there is no RGB at all on the motherboard. It's pure black, really stylish, I would say, but no flashy RGB stuff. But you can still use RGB components. So, for example, up here you have a 4-pin header, or a 3-pin header. Sorry, that's the addressable RGB header right there.
Yeah.
And this motherboard also has one on the bottom. Let me see. There is another addressable RGB header.
You remember my blindfolded PC building stream?
These are hard to connect, huh?
Oh my god!
Yeah, they're very small headers. And here you also have a 4-pin regular RGB header. So this is for non-addressable 12-volt RGB components. And then we have, let me see where it is on this board.
On top, probably.
Yeah, right here on top. There we also have a dedicated J Corsair header. So this is for addressable RGB components from Corsair. They use a specific type of connector. And you can find that on our higher end models as well, I believe. I can see it on the Gaming Carbon. I think it's Gaming Carbon and up, right, Henry? They all have the J Corsair header as well. But on all models, you can find at least one J Rainbow header. Maybe even two. Do the base models also have, like Dash A Pro, does it have one or two J Rainbow?
One.
One J Rainbow, okay. So you get addressable RGB on all motherboards. But on the higher end models, you will have multiple headers. And of course, you can still use an RGB hub to get it to multiple components if you want to.
So more stuff about memory, because otherwise we're going to say thank you and bye-bye.
Well,
this new feature.
Memory.
The memory?
So memory force. Maybe you can quickly explain what memory force is, Henry.
Memory force is a new feature from MSI on Z490 platform. It's like a of course in the background we need a database. So from top PC, the feature is made by how to say it will detect the headroom of your memory modules. How much headroom you have, you can push to the limit.
So it will basically show you how far you can still push your memory further.
How far you can. Yes. So we put it on the icon over there. For example, DDR4 2666. It's a bigger headroom for you to push. But if you already push on to the DDR4 4666, so the headroom will be smaller. So it's easy to understand for you to do
how
the
far you
overclock.
can still go with your memory.
So and I mean we all know the memory controller is integrated in the CPU. So if I have one set of memory and I change the CPU, the value can be different, right?
Yes, exactly. So it's a CPU dependent and the memory dependent.
Okay. Yeah. Well done. Quite niceful. Useful. Yeah. Niceful.
So we already shortly talked about this compatibility testing. So we do a lot of testing with a lot of memory modules from many different vendors.
Yeah, we had a good live stream about this when we visited HU. I think then we talked with the guys who were doing the testing.
Yeah, so you can also see how
you remember when we walked in? Whoa, you have a lot of memory.
Yeah, there's so many different modules. And these are all, you can also find them in the QVL of all these motherboards. So that's a qualified vendor list of all the different memory modules. So you can see which memory kits are compatible with which motherboards.
Yeah, that is a long, really long list.
And this list is getting longer and longer, right? Because I know from a couple of generations ago, it was already a long list. But now it's an insane list.
Yeah, it never ends, you know.
Never ending.
I pity the guy because he probably has to repeat his job each few platforms or months.
Yes, it's a lot of retesting as well, of course.
Yeah, but anyway, good job.
Yeah, thank you.
So before we continue, maybe let's do another giveaway, Eric.
Yeah.
So if you haven't participated yet, go to msi.com/2/insider. Throughout the stream, we'll be giving away several $20 Steam wallet codes, but at the very end of the stream, we have a very big prize, a combination of the MPG Z490 gaming card
I like
Wi-Fi
you trying
motherboard,
to put all the boxes on the table.
And
fits.
the MAG Core Liquid 360R liquid cooling. So if you didn't participate yet and you want to have a chance to win this, make sure to sign up. msi.com/2/insider. Our bot will also spam a direct link to the Gleam giveaway.
Yeah, it works.
In the chat once in a while. Yeah,
okay, so the next winner is Tamas Todd.
Congratulations, Tamas.
Yes, we will send you the Steam wallet code in the coming days by email. And later we also have the giveaway, so stay tuned. You also make a chance for this. We have the giveaway for the MPG Z490 Gaming Pro. No, not Pro anymore.
Gaming Carbon 1.
Yeah, we did. Why did we ditch that?
And the name is already quite long, especially with Wi-Fi added to it. So
I'm still saying Game Pro.
We are already Pro. Pro.
We don't need it in the name.
Okay.
We by ourselves.
Well, Henry, you're small again. I think this is for you because it's already like 11:30, right? PM.
Yeah.
So bedtime.
Almost.
Yeah, thanks for joining. I think with the help of you, we covered the most technical parts like cooling, VRM, memory, PCB. What else?
Yeah, welcome.
VRM, cooling, etc.
Yeah, all those kinds of technical stuff.
Yeah, so Henry, thank you for joining. And have a good sleep.
And hope to see you in person again soon. If all the corona virus stuff is
travel again,
passed, yes.
See you in Taipei. Okay.
Bye bye.
Yeah, see you there.
Bye
bye.
We're looking forward to the food. That's true.
Bye
bye bye. I will
the
switch
food in
him
Taiwan
off.
is always good.
So.
Yeah, so let's continue because we have a lot of more topics to talk about on these Z490 motherboards.
One moment.
Oh.
I destroyed something.
What did you break?
No,
Okay.
nothing.
Let me put my Coke to the side to make some space. Because I want to show...
Yeah, this is a nice function.
A very nice
So this is dynamic dashboard too.
Yes, so some of you might already be familiar with dynamic dashboard. And let me connect
back again.
This back to the godlight. So dynamic dashboard is a small OLED screen on the motherboard. And right now it has some fingerprints on it, so let me quickly clean it a little bit.
Oh, let me check. I have some questions.
Eric, they look like your fingerprints.
I know. I'm guilty. I know you remember. I mean, oh, this can go away. I remember you before we went live. You said make sure you clean them.
Yep.
And I said let's go first to the toilet. And when I went to the toilet, I had my microphone still on for Henry, so I'm not sure what kind of sounds he heard.
So here you can see it. There is an OLED screen. It's very shiny, so with all the lights, you might see more of a reflection then. But new in Dynamic Dashboard 2 is that it's a color screen. It used to be a monochrome screen on, for example, the Z390 Godlike, X570 Godlike, but now we have a full color screen on there. And you can do a lot of different things with it. So you can, for example, show diagnostic information, like your CPU speed, your temperatures, your fan speeds, all those kind of things. But you can also use one of the preset. We have like a Happy New Year thing, and we have many different things. We have a Christmas theme.
Merry Christmas, everybody knows, because when we go live on Twitch, it says that, right?
It always says Merry Christmas, right?
Yeah.
So now we're in May.
It seems nobody is changing that, so we're fine with it.
So yeah, you can do a lot of different things in here.
You can also design your own animation, right?
So yeah, it's a GIF file, so you can just design one yourself.
The non-interactive ones, not interactive ones, the ones without info are GIF files indeed.
Yes. So you can just make your own, make a short animation, put in your own logo or whatever you like best. And you can just load it into the screen. So you can change it up to your own preference. You can use it for diagnostic information, but you can also just do something funny in it or whatever you like.
Nice.
Then pre-install I/O shielding. I saw a couple of questions about this in the chat already. So all of our gaming models have a pre-installed I/O shield. So I believe all models I have right here do have that.
Maybe show?
Yes. So pre-installed I/O shield means you don't have the separate shield here anymore. It's already attached to the motherboard when you take it out of the box. This means you cannot lose it anymore, and I lost many of these shields.
Oh, somebody's putting my face on something?
I saw you forgot to peel all the nice plastics off.
Yeah.
That's good, because I always like to peel these off. It's a good feeling.
I put Eric's face on it. Oh, they want to put me on the dashboard.
They want to put you on the dashboard?
Yeah.
Oh.
On the dynamic dashboard
too. On the dynamic dashboard, your face. Or that you're jumping around. Or
Yeah.
Yeah, so pre-install I/O shield, I think it's extremely useful. I've lost many I/O shields in the past, so I just had the motherboard and not the
I still remember we did one build, and then, a live stream build, and when we were almost finished, we forgot the I/O shield.
I once made a very stupid mistake as well. I bought a new computer case, so I took all my computer parts out of my old case, and I sold my old case. before I built everything in my new case. So I shipped my old case with the I/O shield of my motherboard.
Yeah.
And then I wanted to assemble the components in my new case, and I found out that I didn't have my I/O shield anymore. In the end, it was all okay because the person who bought my old case, he shipped it back in an envelope. So it took a few days, but then I had it again. But that was a good example of why an integrated I/O shield can be extremely useful. It also makes installation a lot easier. You don't have to put anything inside your case first. I think many people will recognize it, that they put their motherboard in a computer and then find out that they forgot to install their I/O shield. And then you have to take everything out again.
Mysterious is a big fan of Henry. He's asking his social media. It's difficult to share now because it's in Chinese. So, and I don't have access to all the information here. So Henry, you have fans.
Henry always has a lot of fans when he's in our live stream.
Yeah, well, I mean, he also visits sometimes events, so we need some technical backup from time to time.
Maybe at an event we need to arrange a meet and greet with Henry.
Yeah.
Like a photo booth where you can get a picture with Henry.
Indeed.
Kalat Finich is asking, can I have one motherboard? You can participate in the giveaway and maybe you win one, because we will give away an MPG Z490 gaming carbon Wi-Fi.
With water cooling.
With a water cooling kit. So you can win not only a motherboard but also water cooling. So make sure to participate. I cannot guarantee that you win, but then you have a chance to.
I will check the chat.
Yeah. So
we only have, let's say, 1 hour left, so
yeah, that's good that we have a slide with many features covering several topics at once. But I want to highlight one very cool new feature that many people have been asking for. And it's a small feature, but it's very useful. Right here on the very bottom of the motherboard.
Switch.
There is a small switch. And, well, you can see what it does. If I flip this switch...
you broke it.
All the RGB is off. So this is... it's a simple dip switch that will switch all the RGB lighting on the motherboard itself off. So some people didn't want to go into the BIOS to switch it off or install software to switch it off. They wanted to disable it on the motherboard itself. So now we have the easy LED control switch. Can be found in many of
This was on top of your wish list, right?
Yes. I think not everyone likes RGB lighting. Some people love it, some people hate it. And I think it should be very easy for people to decide themselves if they want to switch this off. We also got this request from a lot of our end users. So yeah, we decided to implement this on many of our motherboards. So it's a hardware switch. You don't have to go into the BIOS, into the software, and you can easily switch all RGB lighting on your motherboard off.
But about Bluetooth, most boards come with Wi-Fi, and if a board has Wi-Fi, Bluetooth is also integrated.
Yes, so it's a combination on the chip.
It's in the same module.
Yeah, exactly.
And then I think for most we're talking about Bluetooth 5.0, right? Or 5 point something.
Yes, I believe all boards that have Wi-Fi and also Bluetooth, I believe all have 5.0 from top of my head. Yeah. So some of these features you will already know from previous generations. We, for example, have a BIOS switch on our Godlike.
Seren is asking a good question. Will B350 and X370 get AGISA 1005? Sorry, I don't know, but this is a typical question for Henry. But he already left sleeping.
Yes, on the very bottom of this motherboard.
In the coming weeks, months, I'm not sure. I'm planning another AMD live stream. So then we for sure will come back to this.
Eric, can I have the close-up cam?
Yeah, sorry. Too many people asking questions, so I want to answer most of them.
That's good. Yeah, so we already talked about the easy LED switch on this motherboard, and here it's located right there. But there's another small switch here, and this is the BIOS switch. So, for example, if you're going to do extreme overclocking and you corrupt your BIOS or anything, or doing flashing.
If you're like me.
Yeah, if you're fiddling around or you're flashing your BIOS and you drop power or anything.
Is the new switch the only way to turn off RGB? No, you can of course cut all the cables.
Yeah, you can still do it in the BIOS. You can still
in
do
software,
it
BIOS.
In software, yes. But now you have the choice. You can also do it on the dip switch on the motherboard. So Godlike, for example, has a dual BIOS. You can easily switch it on the motherboard itself.
Price range in EU, we will talk later about that. We have one slide with all the US and Euro MSRP pricing.
Yep, definitely.
And if you, today, the NDA was lifted, I think 2.5 hours ago for the pre-sales. So you can also check your favorite shop, and most likely they have the products listed over there. They're not allowed to sell yet. This will be a later date.
Yeah, so we have another very cool feature, the Flash BIOS button. And I also think this is extremely useful if you in the future buy another CPU that is not supported out of the box. Then you don't need an old CPU to flash the correct BIOS into your motherboard. You just need to plug in your power supply and put in a USB flash drive with the BIOS file, and then you can press the button and it will flash your BIOS. So no need to install previous generation CPU, no need to install memory or graphics card. The motherboard can completely do it by itself. It only needs power and a USB flash drive with the right BIOS file. So I really like that feature personally, because in the past you had new generation of CPUs and you bought, for example, one of these motherboards, and you buy the new CPU, but it's not supported out of the box. So then you have to borrow an older CPU or arrange it through other ways, and it could be a hassle. So now really easy to do by yourself.
Somebody asking for benchmarks. Sorry, today we're not allowed to show benchmarks. No. Still too early. This will still take a couple of weeks.
Yeah, but later on when we're allowed to, we will definitely also show you benchmarks of this 10th generation Intel Core processors.
Yeah.
So let's talk quickly about the atypical PCB. So we have this, for example, on our MPG Gaming Edge Wi-Fi.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
So here is a cutout in the PCB, and this in many cases will help you with easier cable management. So you have more space to, for example, angle your SATA connectors or the USB 3.0 header, or 3.2 Gen 1, I should say nowadays. So super speed USB 5 gigabit per second. Yeah, so you have a cutout in the PCB, so it's easily accessible, very nice for the cable management as well. So the chest plate, we already shortly talked about this. This is on our MSI Z490 godlike.
Yeah, I'm just putting you close up, Cam.
Yeah.
This is the stuff you can show.
Let me just take this cable off. It's easier to move the motherboard.
Yeah.
So the chest plate is right here on this side, and this is to strengthen the structure of the motherboard. So yeah, it makes it extremely sturdy, so you cannot bend it. Or when you're, for example, this board, of course you can expect that people want to do extreme overclocking with this. So they might not even use it in a case. They might have it on a box or a test bench or whatever. So to make sure that the motherboard always has enough support, the chest plate on the back will help with that.
Yeah, so Repo Man, he saw a live stream a couple of weeks ago when I took a notebook apart, and he is asking, is it still working? Yes, it's still working.
Did you put it back yourself, or did you let someone else do it?
No, I left it here because I got kicked out by security, and I asked Peter from our FAE team to put it back together, and he didn't have the right, how do you say that, cooling pads, because there were special types, so I don't know. You
destroyed all the cooling pads while you took it apart.
Yeah.
So here we have our MSI Z490 Ace. So here we also have the chest plate on the back of the motherboard. Can you show it up close, Eric?
Yes.
So this motherboard has nice, it's black with golden accents, so that's what you also find on the chest plate. I know it's on the back, so you will probably not see it too often, but it's still nice to match it with the rest of the motherboard, I'd say. DIY 2.0. So DIY, do it yourself, and 2.0 because we have many different types of headers on our motherboards. This depends on the type of motherboard you have, obviously. The extended ATX godlike will have more of these connectors, for example, than the mini-itx Unify.
Yes, Toto.
Sorry?
I'm just asking questions.
Okay.
Of answering questions.
Answering questions,
yes.
Okay. Yeah, so we have many different fan headers, PWM headers that you can decide your own fan curve in the BIOS. also to make sure you have a very nice and silent system. We also have a dedicated pump header, for example, on many of our motherboards, to make sure you're also ready for water cooling.
Maybe we should do, I mean, next week we still don't have a topic for a live stream, so maybe we should just do a Q&A. I see so many different questions. Why is the mouse in the Z370 BIOS not smooth? I don't see the question anymore, but that's a quite interesting question, because mouse compatibility in a UEFI BIOS is a nightmare to get right. And I saw a lot of benchmarks internally from a couple of years ago. And at that moment, we had the best compatibility with the most sensors in the UEFI BIOS. But it is possible that at some model, it's not working 100% perfectly. So what you described is lagging. Another mouse with another sensor will probably work very smooth. But this was like what you said, Z370. So this was a topic a couple of years ago.
Or you can do like me and use the keyboard to control your BIOS. That's what I always do.
Yeah. But we have UEFI, it's click BIOS, it's mouse BIOS.
Yeah, it's nice, but I think it's because I'm so used to controlling my BIOS with my keyboard from the past that I never really started using the mouse for it. But yeah, it is nice that you now have the option to do it.
Please showcase the MSI mini-itx Unify board. Well, maybe show them both.
Yeah.
Maybe show them next to each other.
Which one? Which other one? The ITX and the?
Unify.
Oh, and the regular Unify.
Yeah. Like family.
Okay, grab your cameras. We're going to take a family photo. On this side, we have the MEG Z490 Unify, and this is the MEG Z490i for ITX Unify. So you can see they're all black, no RGB lighting on these boards.
You can do with a pin header.
Sorry?
You can do with a pin header.
Yeah, you can do our external RGB components with the pin header, but the motherboards themselves...
When you buy them, they don't have any fingerprints from Mike.
No, I will not touch all of them. Yeah, maybe all ITX boards.
Yeah.
Because I like them so much. Yeah, so these are the Unify models. Dark black, very stylish. I really like them. I think the Unify boards are generally my favorite boards in the series. Which one is your favorite board, actually, Eric?
I think Unify. I was checking a question. I think Unify is one of my favorite ones. Ace I also like.
Yeah, Ace is also really cool.
Yeah.
It depends a bit on what you want to do. If you have like, if you want.
No, you say favorite one, then I'm about looks. That's how I was answering. But yeah, I don't need Thunderbolt. That's for sure. I don't like small stuff like you. I hate to put a small case together with everything stuffed in there.
It's such a cute motherboard.
Yeah, I know you like it. You love it.
You need this with the can so you can see the size.
Forza is, here's a good point. You made a walkthrough and overclocking video for the 8th Gen in 2018. Yeah, Martijn did that. That's a long time ago. Are you going to do this for this generation as well? Yeah, we can consider, but not next week. Because this needs some good preparation, and for this generation we're not allowed to show you performance. And when we overclock, we also want to show you performance.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, so we have armor design on many different motherboards. Let me grab, for example, the Ace, so I can show you the design on both the PCI Express slots. So you can see they're reinforced with metal to make sure they can handle really large and heavy graphics card also during transport. So there was also PCI Express slot.
Sorry, there was also a question in chat about why don't you reinforce your SATA slots? Well, it has to do with the purpose, because reinforced SATA slots, we don't enter a lot of problems with the SATA slots, but VGA cards nowadays are really heavy, so that's why we do this.
And on some boards you will also find it on the memory slots, like on the Ace and the Godlike, for example, you do. But here I have the Gaming Carbon, here you have regular memory slots, but you do have the steel armor reinforcement on the PCI Express slots.
Can you show the Dragon on the...
On this? On the,
no.
Which one?
Sorry, on the mini-itx.
On the mini-itx, yes. I can.
Yeah, or another one.
It's a small motherboard, so a very small and subtle Dragon.
Yeah, because a question about this. To be honest, I should not say this. I probably get fired, but I don't like our Dragon. You know, not to on products too much, but this one is really, yeah, I love it how it looks. It looks like a badge. So it's not. It's. It
doesn't only look like a badge; it also feels like a badge. This is like 3D.
Yeah, it's 3D.
So maybe you can see it with the light a little bit.
So tomorrow my boss will call. Erik, what did you say about Dragon? Come, Michiel, we cut this out.
Yeah, it's all based on preference, but I wouldn't say on this model it's too intrusive if you're not into the Dragon. It's not too much in your face. It's not illuminated, so that helps in my opinion.
I'm going to do another lucky draw.
Then let's also announce the giveaway that we currently have.
Oh yeah.
Because the lucky draw Erik will do right now is for another $20 Steam wallet code. But at the very end of the stream, you can win the MPG Z490 Gaming Carbon Wi-Fi with the also very new MAG Core Liquid 360R, a 360 millimeter radiator, all-in-one water cooling. So a really cool combination that directly makes you ready for the 10th generation Intel Core processors.
So the next winner for a $20 Steam wallet code is Duke.
Congratulations, Duke. Yeah, so it will be mailed to you in the coming days.
There was a question mark. Do I pronounce the name correctly? But you don't.
Yeah,
check.
Duke. Yeah, I think.
Okay, Duke. Well, cool.
Like a jukebox, but without the box.
Yeah, indeed.
Lucian is saying RGB throwing flames on a Dragon will be nice.
Well,
you can do it with a dynamic dashboard too.
Well, you know, we Mike and Nick, we spend a lot of time in Taiwan and with product development, and there are some materials which, depending on how hot they get, they change colors. So we were looking into like, can we maybe make some heat sink or something from that your mainboard changes color depending on how hot it gets. But at the same time, I mean, you want to have your mainboard running cold. So it will only show blue, for example. So the purpose is a little bit, yeah. Anyway, missing. But yeah, we're working on, we're experimenting with those kind of materials.
Yeah, and of course nowadays when you have, for example, stuff like an OLED screen, they're way easier to control. So you can put anything on there you like. Alan is asking who won the first giveaway. Maybe we can mention the name again.
The first one was for Chris P.
P won the first one. And the second one was Tamas Toth. And the third one was Duke.
Yes, all Steam wallet codes. Vouchers.
So let's continue. We already got a question about the M.2 slots on the motherboards. And this is very much dependent on the model. But all models have at least 2 M.2 slots. Even our mini-itx model. So let me show you where you have them.
Yeah.
So on the front here, there is a big heatsink on top, and underneath you can find the first M.2 slot, and the second one is actually on the back of the motherboard. So even the mini-itx has got 2 M.2 slots. And some of our motherboards, like for example ATX Unify, you even have 3 M.2 slots. You can also find 3 M.2 slots on the Z490As, but also Godlike. They all have 3, and the Godlike is a little bit special in this situation because it comes with this add-in card. So let me show it up close. You can also see that the add-in card is also ready for PCI Express Gen 4. But this is the M.2 Expander Z Gen 4 S add-in card, and it provides you with, let me just open it up so I can show you what it looks like on the inside. Because this is an add-in card, you put it in your PCI Express slot and it will give you 2 additional M.2 slots. So the motherboard itself already has 3 M.2 slots, and if you put this card in it and it comes included in the box with the Godlike, you will even have.
This is normally where things go wrong, right?
What?
Screwdrivers.
Oh no, this is fine. This is not too extreme, right?
Yeah, if you.
So here you can see it open up. So you have 2 additional M.2 slots. It supports up to M.2 22-110, so 11 centimeter M.2 drives. Usually the 8 centimeters are the 2280s are most common nowadays. But if you in the future happen to have a longer SSD, then you can also use it on this. It also has two switches on top, right there. And the one on this side is the LED switch. With this you can, here on the bracket you have several status LEDs and you can switch them off if you want to. And here you have the fan switch. The fan on the heatsink itself, it is temperature controlled. So it will not always run at 100%, but you can completely switch it off if you want to. And with many SSDs, you don't need additional cooling other than the already extremely thick heatsink.
Yeah, one piece of metal.
Yes, it's quite heavy as well.
It's quite funny because people are complaining about the fan noise of this notebook I have here for the chat. And normally when we're really sitting next to each other, we have live demos, we're running PCs, nobody complains about noise. And now I'm sitting in a different location close to this notebook and everyone, what is that? What is that fan? Because today,
like
no live demo.
Underneath you, under your microphone. So that doesn't help. Yeah, so that's the M.2 Expander Z. Then we have M.2 Shield Frozr. On all motherboards have at least one of these. So for example on the UniFi you can find, on the UniFi ITX you can find it on the front. So here you have a regular M.2 slot, here you have one with the M.2 Shield Frozr cooling. On for example the ATX UniFi you have it on every single M.2 slot. And this will not only help to protect your SSDs but also will help with the cooling. So if you have a high performance, maybe in the future also Gen 4 SSD, they can run quite hot, and if they run too hot, they will start to throttle, and that will cost you performance.
Can you maybe show Edge?
I can show Edge, yes. Which one, the ATX or
both
the
of them. Yeah, I had a question about micro-atx. Do you also have a micro-atx board?
Yes, let me grab it. It's all inside. So this is the MPG Z490 M Gaming Edge.
Yeah, the M stands for micro-atx.
Yes. And it has Wi-Fi in the end, because it has Wi-Fi 6, Intel Wi-Fi 6 included on the motherboard.
Yeah. And you also have the ATX version, you can show them together, next to each other?
I have the ATX version right here. There we go. So the micro-atx and the ATX. The gaming
Big brother
Edge Wi-Fi
and small
model.
sister.
Yep. Zentix is asking, can this PCI Express M.2 card be sold separately?
No.
No, at this point we don't have any plans.
Yes, it can be sold separately, but we're not selling it separately.
No, these are included with a couple of specific mainboards. Like
yeah, they're included combined with certain mainboards, also because you need to have certain BIOS options, right?
Yes, I believe all of these motherboards actually support it.
Yeah, but it's not that you can use it on other brands.
No, it's not that you can use this card on a competitor brand, for example. But if you have one of these cards from, for example, the Godlike model, but you want to use it on a different model, then you can do that.
Yeah.
Polished Human is asking, is there an extended ATX motherboard? Yes, our Godlike is extended ATX, so you can see it is. Let me grab the UniFi as well, so here you see the difference.
So
can you show it up close, Eric?
Yeah, but I think it's too high.
Yeah, I think you can see the difference in width. On the bottom you have Godlike, which is extended ATX, and here the UniFi ATX.
People are also asking what is the benefit over ATX, of a micro-atx and an ATX. Yeah, that's personal preference. So in a ATX has of course more PCB space, so you can put more function on. It also has more PCI Express slots. So if you, for example, have an audio card or a streaming card, capture card, or running as a lie, then of course ATX would be much more logical. But you also have very nice micro-atx cases. So nice micro-atx case takes less space. So yeah, there are several reasons to go for micro-atx.
Or you can go for mini-itx.
Yeah, Mike is a big fan of that. And I have to admit, this is the Z490 platform. So if we're talking about Z490, which is targeted at overclocking, high performance, gaming, you will see more ATX boards with it. So later, when we're going to talk about H570, B460, you will see more micro-atx and mini-itx, I don't know, but more micro-atx boards. Yeah, that is.
Toto is asking, how do you guys feel about extended ATX? Yeah, it really depends on what you do with it. If you want to connect a lot of devices, if you want to have a really fancy system with the dynamic dashboard 2 and RGB, then I think extended ATX is really cool. Because you have so much size, of course, you can put a lot on this motherboard, more than you can on a regular ATX or even smaller motherboard.
Beer 4K is asking, does it have Bluetooth? Yes, the
Wi-Fi
boards
models do.
Yeah, the Wi-Fi models have Bluetooth. Are you staying hydrated? Well, I am.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. Let me take a sip. Yes, we're staying hydrated.
Yes.
Something else I would like to show about the M.2 Shield Frozzer, because I just showed you.
Oh yeah.
This is the heatsink you can find on top of the Godlike. You also see it M.2 Shield Frozzer. But the Godlike has a special feature, and on this motherboard it is double-sided M.2 Shield Frozzer. So you also have, it's maybe a little bit hard to see, but you also have a cooling pad and a heatsink underneath the SSD. So nowadays you see more and more SSDs that have chips on both sides, so they're dual-sided SSDs, and of course they also run hot on the chips on the other side of the motherboard. So with this dual-sided M.2 Shield Frozzer, you will cool them on both sides to ensure your complete SSD remains cool.
Can you show RGB on Gaming Edge?
Yes.
Well, not sure, because I'm not sure if it has that connector.
I have to check. Let me first put the Godlike back together.
Yeah, we know how it ends. Normally we have like 7 or 8 different main boards. We all take them apart, and then we don't know which what part belongs where.
That's usually how it goes, indeed. Robocalypse is asking, do you recommend removing the stickers from the M.2 drives before applying the heatsink?
Yes.
But I think he's talking about the stickers on the SSD themselves.
That doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter that much.
No. Of course, the better connection you have, the better it will cool.
In an ideal situation, you take them off, but I'm not sure how all SSD vendors handle that in terms of warranty.
No, so better leave them just there.
Yes, it should be okay, but make sure to take off the protective foil on the thermal pads of your M.2 Shield Frozzer.
Can you show which one did I say? Edge? I think Edge on with the RGB.
Let me see if it has a header. I doubt it.
If there's no header, sorry, you have to wait a few minutes, hour? No, not an hour. Because later we have pictures, so you can show the RGB effect.
Yes, unfortunately this doesn't have a header, so I can put it in demo mode.
It's only on the performance models.
Yeah. Yeah, it depends, because this is also performance gaming model. I think it's from Gaming Pro Carbon and upwards, I think. So I should be able to show you, yes, here I have one. Or sorry, now I said Gaming Pro Carbon as well. Gaming Carbon Wi-Fi, I also have to get used to it. Yeah, so also this has the LED switch on the bottom. So you can
I will switch off the lights.
So here you have it underneath the heatsink, you see the RGB lighting.
Can you put it on the table? No, straight up.
Straight up, like this?
Yeah, like this, yeah. And then a little bit to the back. Yeah.
Yeah, so RGB accents on the top corner, and underneath the heatsink on the chipset.
Okay.
Oh, people are already getting curious about the winner. We already had a few winners for the $20 Steam wallet codes, but
I will do another one.
Stream, yeah, we can do another winner. But at the very end of the stream, we will draw our winner of our big giveaway, which is the MSI Z490 Gaming Carbon Wi-Fi motherboard and the MAG Core Liquid 60.
Yeah, so another winner is your turn. Nibe?
Nibe. That
Nibe?
looks a lot like my nickname actually, but then with an N. So yeah, I think Nibe. Congratulations! You also won $20 Steam wallet code, which will be emailed to you in the coming days. If you haven't participated, go to msi.com/2/insider. Our bot will also spam it in the chat every once in a while, so make sure to participate. Yeah, we already quickly talked about the BIOS and the software. Yes, I can see it, Eric. It still has ClickBIOS 5, so if you're already familiar with our BIOS, you will definitely recognize this. Dragon Center software will give you all your diagnostic information, also many settings you can adjust there. You can, Mystic Light, for example, nowadays also incorporated in the Dragon Center software. So it's like one big package with all different utilities integrated at once. So you only need to install one piece of software and you can control all your MSI hardware there. Yeah, you already talked about this, that you don't need it, Thunderbolt, but some people do.
Personally, no.
Yeah, it depends a bit on what you do. If you want like extremely fast storage, or if you're a little bit into content creation, you have like several Thunderbolt devices in that world. I know like some audio interfaces also use it. And we have Thunderbolt 3 support on 2 of our motherboards. One I have right here. Oh, different one. Yeah. Can you have the close up?
Yeah.
So here I have our UniFi ITX model. There you see the Type-C connector, and this is not a regular USB Type-C connector because this also supports Thunderbolt. So this will give you speeds up to 40 gigabit per second. So it's extremely fast. And on our Godlike, I have it right here.
Somebody is saying the winner is not even here, but we also stream on Facebook, Twitch, Twitter.
Yeah, you can probably only see the chat from the channel where you're watching, but we're streaming to many different channels. Here you can see 2 Type-C connectors, and both of them support Thunderbolt.
Everything is at random, guys, so we don't have influence on who wins.
No match fixing.
I'm even trying, when I'm not joining the live stream and I'm watching, I'm trying to win something, but...
Sometimes you get lucky, sometimes
I never get lucky.
Yeah, and Thunderbolt is actually a really cool connector because this can, for example, also carry an image signal. It can carry the DisplayPort 1.4 signal. So you can actually use this to connect a monitor, stuff like that.
I think this is the Type-C connector is the connector for the future. If you look at it, Thunderbolt will become, in the future, USB 4.0. DisplayPort is integrated, audio is integrated, so only LAN missing and Wi-Fi.
Yeah, it should be able to do that as well.
Yeah, but of course, before the whole ecosystem is ready, that you can replace everything with Type-C connectors, it's still years out.
Yeah. And of course, many people still have devices that don't support Type-C yet.
Legacy. So
on the MEG Z490i UniFi, there is one Thunderbolt 3 connector, and on the MEG Z490 Godlike you can find 2 of them. Then on many of our other motherboards, I believe let me see, Gaming Edge, ATX, and all positioned above that, except then of course the Godlike because it supports Thunderbolt. But those other models, they have USB 3.2 Gen 2x2. So this is Lightning USB 20G.
I have a question. Sorry, I already saw several times, but I forgot because chat is going so fast. And again, it's gone. Do you think there is any difference between installing 3200CL14 or 3200CL18 RAM, for example?
Depends on what you do. It really depends.
Yeah, for a professional esport or for a professional player, I would say no big difference. This is something you normally. I mean, depends on the game. Best to check what game. If you can find memory benchmarks for your game, because there are games who benefit from this. But
usually games benefit more from higher frequencies.
Yes.
Of course, this depends on the game, but in general, they profit more from higher frequencies. Some games benefit a lot from better memory. In some games it barely makes a difference.
Yeah.
So this is, it's a really hard question and it really depends on a specific game. I don't know it all by heart which game benefits a lot from memory, but I'm pretty sure on the internet you can find some comparisons about this for the more popular games at least.
So this new USB 3.2 Gen 2 X2,
yes,
we can simply call USB 20 gig, right?
Yeah, basically. So you have like USB 3.2 Gen 1 is 5 gigabit per second.
Yeah.
Then you have Gen 2, 10 gigabit per second, and Gen 2 times 2 can do up to 20 gigabit per second.
Yeah.
And this actually also uses the Type-C connector. So I can show you.
Again, Type-C?
Yeah,
again Type-C.
It is also written on there. It's quite small, so I'm not sure if you can read it.
Nope.
But it actually says super speed 20, so that means the speed that you can get over this type of connection. All our models also have front Type-C. So this is, many end users asked for this.
More and more cases are also supporting this.
Yes, it's becoming a standard basically. You can see it on many different cases, especially in the higher segment. And of course, because Z490 is a pretty high-end chipset, it is likely that you have a Type-C header on your case. Yeah.
A long time, the big issue was the cable length, the routing from the main board to the case, because of the high frequency signal. The cable could not be too long, and also there were different kind of connectors. But now there is one standard. There are good quality cables, so this is more and more case vendors offer this, and the case is of the cable is in the case, so no worries over here.
I see a question, how about cooler compatibility? Can you use previous generation coolers? Yes, the LGA 1200 uses the same mounting holes as you could, for example, find on LGA 1151.
Yes.
So no difference there. If you already have a cooler, the CPU is also exactly the same size as the previous generation. So it doesn't have the same pin layout, so you cannot interchange the CPUs. But the cooler you can also use from the previous generation. If you have an Intel CPU cooler, of course.
I see a question about Dragon Center and an update today. Does it fix the LED keeper issue in Valorant? Sorry, to be honest, I don't know. I didn't see this update yet. So I cannot give you any details.
Yeah, I don't know that either.
Cable USB-C extension. Let me see. Not a clear question.
Can you scroll up a little bit? That's another interesting question, but the chat is so fast today.
No. I zoomed in too much. Before
Someone's asking why some of these motherboards still have a PS2 connector. So
maybe you can show that on the back. The gaming you didn't show.
Which one?
Not Edge. Gaming
Plus.
Yeah, Gaming Plus you didn't show yet.
But that's like furthest away from you. So.
Oh, but I like that model.
In the end, we will show all again, so should be okay. Here you also have it, for example, the PS2 connector.
Maybe show the board.
Yeah,
I like this one. This is a very affordable board and looks nice.
And it looks really different from the previous generation. Like a Z390 Gaming Plus, for example, it was black with red accents.
Yeah.
But more and more people are using RGB components, more neutral components. So we took out the red. It's now completely in black. I really like the looks of it. So let me know what you think about it. But yeah, PS2 is, for example, on this motherboard you have plenty of space to edit. Some people still prefer to use PS2 keyboards, for example, because of the way it communicates to your computer, basically. With USB, your computer asks your mouse or keyboard if they have an update. With PS2, the mouse or keyboard actively updates the computer when there is input. So this can, in theory, give you better performance if you notice it, especially nowadays with 1000 Hertz USB.
Doesn't matter that much anymore.
I wouldn't say it matters, but some people still prefer to use it. It's usually also very nice in terms of support because it always works in your BIOS, etc. So yeah, you can use it if you want to. It's not on all our motherboards anymore. We only incorporate it if we have the space left. If there is no space left, like for example on the ITX motherboard, here we also have the venting holes Maybe we can show it up close, Eric.
Oh, sorry, yeah, I was checking the chat.
Here we, for example, don't have enough space left to also include the PS2 header, and then we don't do it. So yeah, it really depends on the motherboard.
Yeah.
I already saw this question in chat as well. 10 gigabit LAN. So this is included on one of our motherboards, the MSI Z490 Godlike. So here you will see that it actually has 2 network connections.
I feel like a DJ.
And the one on this side, I took the wrong finger, but I mean this one, my index finger. 10 gigabit LAN and 2.5 gigabit LAN. So you will find 2 network connectors here and 10 gigabit LAN. You can only find on our Godlike motherboard. It's extremely fast, but of course it's only useful for people who actually, for example, work with extremely large files. But then if you do some content creation, if you have a very fast server or NAS device, then it comes in really handy. Of course it comes at a price, that's why you don't see it on all motherboards. But the Godlike has 10 gigabit LAN on the motherboard itself. What are you laughing at?
Don't spend time on the chat.
Okay. 2.5 gigabit LAN. So this you can find on all of our motherboards.
Yeah.
So all the way top to bottom, from the Z490 A Pro, which is our most entry-level model, all the way up to the Z490 Godlike, all our models have 2.5 gigabit LAN. We think it's very important towards the future as well. We can already see that internet speeds are reaching 1 gigabit per second. So yeah, we already know basically that in the future we will also go beyond 1 gigabit per second. And if your network cannot do that, then of course you cannot benefit from faster internet.
Yeah, and this is also more and more routers are supporting
Yes.
2.5
It's
gig
becoming
nowadays.
more and more mainstream. Also NAS devices, you see them more and more that support 2.5
Cables are
gigabit.
more affordable. So yeah, but we chose for Realtek 2.5 gig on all motherboards.
Yes.
First we did of course the performance testing, and this one was looking very good. And then of course we also had the development schedule. And I already saw some questions in the chat, hey, why not Intel? Well, that's the reason. And I also saw on the internet, on some news websites, that there were some issues with the Intel ones. But yeah, we will have to wait for the reviews. Because at this moment, yeah, for us, it doesn't matter, Realtek. And then,
yeah, we did a lot of testing, and this type of network controller gave us the best results on 2.5 gigabit LAN.
Yeah.
And it also fit best in our schedule in terms of timing. So we went with the Realtek one, and performance-wise, I think this is a great network controller.
No, this is Intel only. Can I put AMD CPU in this? No.
No, you cannot put an AMD CPU in these boards.
Okay.
And Wi-Fi. All motherboards that have Wi-Fi, of course they don't all have Wi-Fi, but the ones that do have all incorporate Wi-Fi 6. So that's the latest standard. Previously it was called Wi-Fi AX. Before this we had Wi-Fi AC, which is now called Wi-Fi 5. But now with Wi-Fi 6 you will get higher bandwidth, lower latencies, so it only has benefits compared to Wi-Fi 5 or Wi-Fi AC. That's why we decided to put it on all our motherboards that support Wi-Fi, have Intel Wi-Fi 6 on board.
Yeah. And come with Bluetooth 5.0.
And also come with Bluetooth 5.0.
Yeah.
Audio Boost HD. So this is, for example, what you can find on our Godlike and our ATX Unify and our Z490As. It comes with a dedicated ESS deck. For example, on the Godlike, you can find high quality audio components to really give you the best audio experience. For the other motherboards, we also have regular audio boost. So the more entry level models don't come with a deck, for example, but they will still come. Almost all of these models come with the ALC 1220 audio codec from Realtek to make sure you get really high quality audio. It's basically the best audio chip you can find on the market today.
So the question from Mysterious Boy, with the new Wi-Fi standard connecting from Ethernet or Wi-Fi, is the same for gaming? Well, that's a good question, because You know, I'm a gamer and I don't trust Wi-Fi, to be honest. I prefer, I'm like a cable guy.
I used to be the same, and I still do use a cable. But
you are the mobile gamer.
Not really mobile in the
LAN
sense
parties, etc.
Yeah. I take my computer with me a lot, but I still always connect it with a cable. But I do have to say that Wi-Fi came quite a long way.
Yes, absolutely.
Wi-Fi is much, much better and more stable nowadays than it used to be a couple of years ago. But for me, the biggest improvement in Wi-Fi 6 compared to the previous generations is a lower latency. And I think especially if you play competitive games, multiplayer games over the internet, then you really want to have the lowest latency possible.
Yeah.
And I think Wi-Fi 6 made a big, big step in that. So I wouldn't say the latency is as low as it is on a cable connection, but it is getting way better with Wi-Fi.
Yeah, and it's quite strange because, like, personally, I don't like Wi-Fi for gaming, which also tells me...
even with AX or Wi-Fi 6?
No, well, I didn't try that one, to be honest. But what I'm trying to say is, you know, personally, I don't like it. So for me, I'm always asking Wi-Fi on a motherboard. Why?
But that's more of a mental thing, probably.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
But now, but we see a lot of requests from the market. I want Wi-Fi on my motherboard. So the demand is there. And now, like with Wi-Fi 6, with Wi-Fi AC, it gets even better.
I also think it's to more experienced users from the past. They know what struggles Wi-Fi used to have.
Yeah.
Like in the very early stages of Wi-Fi. So they know that the gaming experience on old Wi-Fi chips was really bad. And I believe that then you will get more of the sentiment that Wi-Fi is bad for gaming.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think if you have the possibility to use a cable, I would always recommend to use a cable. Because you don't have, for example, you cannot get any interference, at least not as fast as you can with a wireless signal.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't say Wi-Fi is necessarily bad for gaming anymore.
Maybe I need to test it at home.
Max Bunny is saying Wi-Fi or wire doesn't matter, or doesn't make a difference. When you have rural internet, it's going to be 100 to 300 ping either way. Yeah, if your internet connection is bad, it doesn't really matter anyway. Yeah. Because
my ping is, I have fiber and my ping is like 26, so no problem at all.
With fiber, should be even lower.
You know, I'm not bragging.
I think you can get below 10, especially because...
No?
No?
You know, I don't pay too much on that, but too much attention on that, but I never saw it below 10.
And we're a little bit spoiled because we're in the Netherlands, and many of the European game servers are located in the Netherlands, in Amsterdam.
Or Germany.
Or Germany. Frankfurt's not too far either.
Yeah.
So we're usually relatively close to the servers, so that also helps a little bit with our ping.
Yeah.
Yeah, we already talked about this shortly. So we have on many of these motherboards, we have the easy LED control switch, so you can easily switch off your RGB lighting if you don't like it. If you do like it, of course, we have all our Mystic Light features that you know from the previous generation. You can go into Dragon Center, control it, sync it with other RGB components. You can do all different kinds of effects. So if you're into that, many of possibilities. So here we see an overview of all our different segments and the different models within these segments.
Maybe we do another giveaway? Not?
We already did 4. And we will have a big one in the end. Okay, one more, okay? One more Steam code and then the big winner?
Okay. Steam code this one.
Okay, this one, $20 Steam code, just to make it clear. In the very end, we will have...
Baya.
Congratulations, you also won a $20 Steam wallet code. If you didn't participate in the giveaway yet, go to msi.com/2/insider. Make sure to do so, because at the very end of this stream, someone will win an MPG Z490 gaming carbon Wi-Fi motherboard, as well as the new MAG Core Liquid 360R. So make sure to participate.
Eric Bus is asking, any plans for Mystic Light to add IQ support?
IQ support. That's the software package from Corsair.
Yeah. Well, we have the J Corsair connectors. So, you know, this works on different levels. And to support them, you need to have API support. You both need to have an open API that you can get each other information. Well, short answer, I don't know. But technically, I guess it should be possible. So
maybe in the future.
Yeah, our engineers like Henry, who was here first or earlier, they're working on a lot of components to integrate Mystic Light with. And to be honest, I didn't check if this one is on the list or this vendor.
But what I do know is we do work with Corsair. That's also why we have the J Corsair header on many of our motherboards. So it is something you might see in the future. I cannot guarantee anything, but you might see it in the future.
Question, will the VRM run cool for all the motherboards? Please check. We showed temperatures earlier.
Yes.
1.5 hours ago.
If you're on YouTube, you can go back into the stream. So then you can watch that part. And of course, also, when we finish the live stream, you will be able to find this live stream on YouTube on demand as well. So if you want to view certain things back, you can of course do that. Or if you missed the first part of the live stream, then you can view it on demand as well.
So maybe let's go to the main boards?
Yeah, let's go to segmentation first. So we have, on Z490, most of our motherboards are targeted at gamers. So basically all models, except for the Z490-A Pro, all our motherboards are targeted at gamers and come with gaming features. We don't have any specific content creation board in this generation. We believe that usually content creators are looking for many cores, for example, quad channel memory. So those motherboards you will usually find on other platforms like, for example, X299 on Intel, TRX 40 on AMD. We have one on X570. We decided not to do this on Z490. Of course, it also depends what kind of CPUs are available for a certain platform, whether or not it makes sense to make a content creator board for this platform. So we decided not to do this on Z490. But of course, you can use gaming boards for this as well. Like the Godlike, for example, can do basically anything you can do with Z490. You have 2 Thunderbolt connectors on there. You can put up to 5 M.2 SSDs on there. So if you're a content creator, you can do that.
I see an interesting question from Twitch. Is the Z490 Ace better than the Z490 Gaming Carbon? Well, that we were struggling. We made a price list with some MSRP pricing. We will show you later. And we were also discussing, should we put them on segmentations like we show here? Or should we put them on order of price? High to lower or lower to high? So what does better mean for you? I mean, better as faster? No. If you put a CPU on it, all of them will run fine. No problem there.
They're different, but yeah, it's
if you're going overclock, I mean, yes, the Mac models will have higher overclockability, will have more overclock features.
They have all MEG models come with 90 amp digital power stages,
for example.
So they are extremely strong on the VRM part. Basically, you could even say overkill.
If you talk better in storage options, yes, the higher models have 3 M.2 connectors, the other ones only 2. So
that's where you usually find the differences. It's like on a board that is higher in the segmentation, like the Enthusiast Gaming series, the MEG series, they tend to have a stronger VRM. You usually get more M.2 slots. You get faster connections, like for example the Thunderbolt connections on the Unify ITX and the Godlike. So that's where you usually find the differences. And on the top model of the Godlike, you get, for example, the M.2 adding card included in the box. So yeah, that's where you can find the differences between motherboards.
Yeah, so there is also a question about what is the difference between gaming and content creation. Well, content creation, most of the times we use the platforms like TRX 40 and X299, the platforms with more cores and more memory capabilities, but also more PCI Express connectors, so you can run multi-GPU. And we're not talking about SLI for gaming, but we're talking about content creations, for example, for rendering, for 3D animations. So the content creation motherboards, or let's say the products, because we also have monitors, are all focused on that. So this means IPS panels, 5K IPS panels, I should say. special software which you can fine tune all the render programs, so you can give priority on them. Yeah, all those kind of things. Gaming, we have more features which help you with gaming, like our Dragon Center.
I see a question in chat. Can I game on a Z490-A Pro? Yes, you can, if you want to, of course.
No problem at all.
Yeah. That it's not segmented as a gaming motherboard doesn't mean you cannot game on it. It's just not specifically targeted at gaming.
Yeah.
And that's usually, you can find differences in features, but also look and feel of the motherboard.
I would even say, based on FPS, if you have the same configuration, it will not make any difference. Of course, it all depends on your cooling and then what CPU you want to run.
And the stronger boards have a better overclockability, and then of course you will see a performance increase.
Yes, and a big difference in VRM and cooling, etc., which will help the result.
So shall we go through all motherboards, Eric?
Yes.
So let's start off with the king of all Z490 motherboards. The Z490 Godlike, MEG of course, MSI Enthusiast Gaming. So an extended ATX motherboard. It comes with an extremely strong, fully digital VRM design with 16 phases, 90 amp power stages. So it's a really strong motherboard. Stacked fin heatsink on top and the side. Comes with a dynamic dashboard too. So a small color OLED screen on the motherboard itself. You have dual Thunderbolt 2 right here.
Let me go, can you go one slide back please?
Yes, I can.
Because I have a question, what makes the Dash A Pro for content creation? But actually that's for the Pro series. So content creations, we don't have a model in the Z490 segment. Yeah,
not specifically, but you see that the Pro models are usually also used by, for example, more entry-level content creation system. On the Godlike you also have two network connectors. One supports 10 gigabit LAN, the other supports 2.5 gigabit LAN.
Neolinkster is saying so many fingerprints. Let us just note that these are Mike's fingerprints.
No, they're definitely not.
Yes.
I can clearly see they're Eric's. Yes.
Oh, don't show, otherwise they will steal my
I can even
my
see
fingerprint.
Which hamburger you had for lunch.
Who had hamburgers today?
Actually, I did. And I had to wait for them a long time.
Yeah.
So on the back you have the chest plate to strengthen the motherboard itself. So yeah, basically the motherboard, it has pretty much all you could wish for. Yeah. Except if you wish for a smaller form factor, then there are of course different boards that would suit you better.
This one I really like the VRM.
Yeah, the VRM design is extremely strong. But that goes for more of these boards right here.
Yes.
So let's continue with the MEG Z490 Ace. So I have it right here. Eric.
Yeah.
So this also has 16 90 amp digital power stages. So this also has an extremely strong VRM design. In this situation it's on a 6-layer PCB. The Godlike is an 8-layer PCB. Here you can see that it also comes with dual LAN. One is the 2.5 gigabit LAN, the other one is Intel gigabit LAN. So plenty of network connection. Yeah,
so one of the differences between this one and Godlike is this one. Godlike has a Thunderbolt and this one comes with USB 20 gig.
Yeah, so still an extremely fast connection, but it doesn't come with Thunderbolt.
Yeah.
You do get 3 M.2 slots on the motherboard itself. It doesn't come with the additional card, that only comes with the Godlike.
Yeah.
You also have some cool RGB effects, black and golden design. And on the back you can also find the chest plate.
And Godlike also has the dynamic dashboard too, comes with stacked fin array heatsinks.
Yeah.
So yeah, still a lot of differences.
Then we have Unify, and we have 2 models for that.
It's your baby, right?
Yeah, the ITX.
It was quite interesting when we visited the issue in December. Our Unify was actually, I think, planned as a content creation board.
It used to be, yes.
Yeah, and then we said like, yeah, but where do I put my VGA cards? Where do I put my 250 of my memory?
Yes, especially content creators, they tend to use a lot of memory.
Yeah.
So preferably then you have at least 4 memory slots, and that's not something you can do on a mini-itx motherboard.
And then we decided to make this unify and also change the look and feel, and
yeah,
looks nice.
And you do, of course, you still can see somewhat content creator things, like for example the Thunderbolt connection. So you do have that slight content creation benefit on this motherboard.
We're breaking NDA.
Hmm?
We are breaking the NDA.
What are we breaking?
Check the yellow line.
Oh, we're breaking the NDA right now.
Yeah, these boards are still NDA. Anyway, you saw it here first.
Definitely. So you didn't even take that sentence out, Eric?
I didn't see it.
Okay. So right here we have the ATX Unify.
Open the socket, please. No, please. Don't open the socket because some pins will get bent.
Yeah, only open up the socket if you're going to put a CPU in it.
Or if you're not Mike.
Did you already find the CPUs, by the way?
I didn't look for them.
I have no idea where they are.
Let me check. Let me walk around.
Okay, I will continue with the motherboard.
So they gave the CPUs to us? Like here,
Yeah.
Here you have the CPUs?
Yeah.
Are they not?
I'm not sure if they're here or there.
You can also show the boxes.
That's true. Let me see if I have a Unify box. Oh yeah, wait. I forgot to show the Ace box, by the way.
I don't see
very
any
nice.
CPUs. So it
Black
should
and
be two
gold
CPUs,
box.
right?
Yeah, but I'm not sure if they're here in this room or not.
Oh, maybe on your desk.
Could be. But they look quite similar, but the pin layout is different. So they're the same size, but they do not fit in each other's socket. So that's quite an important thing. Here we have the ATX Unify.
Yes, only 10 series.
Yeah, only 10 series CPU indeed. Question in chat. Also comes with 3 M.2 slots, no RGB on this motherboard, but it does come with, I believe, 2 J-Rainbow headers, yes, as well as the Corsair addressable RGB header on top and a regular RGB header right here, so the non-addressable one. So you get 4 RGB headers in total, so if you want to add RGB to your system, it's not on the motherboard itself, but you can add it with third-party components.
Star Info on Twitter is asking, does Z490 chipset work with PCI Express Gen 4? Technically, no, because you need a 10th generation CPU and they only have PCI Express Gen 3. However, all motherboards are already prepared for Gen 4. So in the future, whenever there will be a CPU which supports Gen 4, it will work on these Z490 mainboards if the socket, if it fits in the socket. Hey, that's a good description, right? If it fits in the socket.
If it fits, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cannot comment too much on this
because
NDA.
we've seen in the past that the CPU can fit in the socket, but it's not supported by the motherboard.
Yeah.
So it's
exception.
Yeah, exception is it. It also comes with 16-phase VRM design, also 90 amp power stages. So even the Unify has a 16-phase, 90 amp, fully digital power design. So this is an extremely strong VRM design. So this really made, if you want to do extreme overclocking with the 10-core processor, you can even do that on the Unify as well.
Quickly, 2 questions. What Z490 is in the Trident Extend? I don't know, but in like 2 weeks, I'm sure Ja knows, because he's going to talk about our next generation gaming desktops.
I have a feeling that I know what will be in the Trident X.
Okay.
Considering the size. I'm not sure if it's exactly this motherboard, because sometimes it's a variation with slight differences because it's made specifically for that system. So I'm not 100% sure if it's exactly that motherboard.
Do all motherboards have a, what was it? Type-C, what was it, front connector? A Type-C header. That's a good one. Type-C, let me see.
Yes, I believe
I believe as well. Yes.
Not all of them have Gen 2x2, so 20 gigabits per second. Many do actually, but not all of them.
Yeah, but all have a Type-C connector. Yes. Confirmed. Temperatures we already showed. Call me Jay.
Yeah, so make sure you can view the live stream on demand as well.
On YouTube you can go back in time and yeah.
So here I have the MSI Z490i Unify motherboard.
You also have the box, right?
I also have the box, it's on the side of the table. There we go. So, mini-itx model, very small, but very powerful. So this has a direct 8-phase VRM design with 90 amp power stages. So that's still an extremely strong VRM, especially for this size, because usually you will not be able to even push this VRM to its limits, because in mini-itx cases, the CPU cooling will be an issue much sooner. If you're, for example, going to overclock your CPU, in mini-itx cases that can get a little bit tricky because you don't have as much space for a big CPU cooler, or for example a 360mm radiator. So yeah, an 8-phase 90 amp power design is basically already a little bit overkill.
What power supply do you need for this?
What power supply?
Yeah, a question from YouTube.
That depends very much on what else is in your computer.
And what size your cases?
Also, yes. But that's more of the form factor of the power supply you need, for example, ATX or SFX. But the power that it can deliver, that is the capacity is very dependent also on your graphics card, for example. So if you have very high-end graphics card, you need a way more powerful power supply than when you have, for example, don't use a graphics card at all. Or use a very entry-level graphics card. But also is, of course, very much dependent on the CPU you use. If you use a 10-core CPU, it will draw more power than when you use a 6-core CPU.
Somebody knows his stuff. He says, I want mini-itx for memory overclocking.
Yes, for memory overclocking,
this is
mini-itx is really interesting because this also has a 10-layer PCB. It only has 1 DIMM per memory channel, so it will give you the best signal quality on your memory modules. So yes, if you want to go for top memory frequencies, then this is an extremely cool motherboard.
Can it support triple fan? That's a difficult question. Triple fan?
The fan headers, yes.
For sure?
Yeah.
But
I can actually show you on the close-up cam. You see right here are 3 PWM fan headers. One, of course, is for your CPU cooler. And with the other 2, you can connect 2 case fans, or if you use, for example, a splitter cable, you can connect more to them. But then you're not able to control them separately from each other. So you have 3 PWM headers on here.
This is better than my MSI A320M Pro. Mwah. A little bit.
Yeah, and it's also quite different. A320 is not an Intel board anyway. So it's hard to compare these two, but yes, this is a very different segment.
Okay.
It also comes with 2 M.2 slots.
Oh, you're still talking about this one.
Yeah, I keep on talking.
Yeah, because USA team is going to have a live stream with their esports team, right?
Okay. Then I'll hurry up a little bit about my baby. So 1 on the front, 1 on the back. On the front you have M.2 shield frozzer as well. So all in all, I think awesome motherboard. Also comes with Wi-Fi 6 as well as Bluetooth. Of course, 2.5 gigabit LAN like all our Z490 motherboards, and Thunderbolt. Then our gaming MPG Z490 gaming carbon motherboard. Let me make a little bit of space right here.
I also like. I like all the Z490 boards. I mean, look and feel wise. Yeah.
Yes. I think this one also looks really cool, and you can win this one today. So make sure to enter the giveaway if you haven't done so yet. MSI.com/2/insider.
Yeah, like in 10 minutes.
Yes, you still have the chance to win this. Comes with quite extensive Mystic lights, so both underneath the heatsink, but also in the top corner. It has a strong VRM design also with 12-phase 60 amp power stages. So it's not as strong as, for example, the enthusiast gaming series like the Unify, the Ace, and the Godlike, but still very strong VRM design, also capable of overclocking even the 10-core CPU. So it has both 2.5 gigabit LAN, of course, but also on that side, Wi-Fi 6 from Intel, and also comes with Bluetooth 5.0, of course. It also has the Lightning USB 20G, so the USB 3.2 Gen 2x2. So very complete motherboard, looks cool.
We also have a special version of this one, right?
Yes.
We did. This is one of the two main boards we don't have on hand, and the next one is one of them. So we can show you a picture. So
this is the MPG Z490 Carbon EKX motherboard. And this comes with a water cooling monoblock from EK already on the motherboard itself. So really cool. It looks awesome. provides awesome cooling to both your CPU and your VRM. So really nice out-of-the-box solution if you're into custom water cooling. Of course, you do need to use this with a separate radiator, separate pump. So you need some extra knowledge about computers. But if you're into that stuff, really cool to look at this model, for example.
So I see James asking, what is the giveaway? So maybe everybody in the chat tell James there is no giveaway or something. More chance you have winning the main board.
That's true. One participant less.
Yeah.
Then we have our gaming edge Wi-Fi models. Let me grab the other one as well. So let's start off with the ATX version. There we go. So this is the MPG Z490 gaming edge Wi-Fi motherboard. It also comes with a 12-phase VRM design with 60 amp power phases. It has power stages. Sorry. It has an extended heatsink cooling design. It has both 2.5 gigabit LAN and Wi-Fi 6 from Intel, as well as Bluetooth 5, of course. Comes with USB 20G, Lightning USB 20G. So that's the USB 3.2 Gen 2 x 2. Pre-installed IO Shield, of course. And it has asymmetrical PCB design, so the cutout in the PCB for easy cable management.
So Starfish asking where can I download the datasheets for these models. If you go to MSI.com, you search for Z490, you will find the product page. Maybe Mike, maybe show.
Yes, you can find them for all, except for the Unify models right now, because this is actually the first time we're officially showing both Unify models. But I believe somewhere next week you will also
maybe
be able to find
can you maybe show the browser?
Let me see what you have.
We have a notebook hidden over there.
I do.
Then we can also highlight the action.
Yeah. Let's first go to the motherboard. So if you go to our motherboard section on our website.
This one.
I have it right here. So on the left side, you can also directly go to msi.com/motherboards. On the left side, you're able to select the chipset. So if you select Intel Z490, you will see the different Z490 models that we have. As you can see, the Unify models are not here yet. This is actually the first time we're officially showing them. So probably next week you will also be able to find them with all the information. So yeah, if you want more information about a specific motherboard, then you can definitely go here. And you also wanted to show this promotion, right?
Yes, yes.
So this is a really cool promotion if you want to upgrade to a Z490 motherboard. It's a trade-in promotion, and you can get a $50 up to $50 Steam wallet code. Depends on the exact model that you buy. If you want to have more information about this, please check out our website. You can also find all models that are suitable for this promotion,
yeah,
and also how you have to do this.
If you're going to buy Z490,
Yes.
I mean, better make sure you...
also check if it's available in your country, this promotion, because it is based on country.
Yeah, it's a nice rebate.
Yeah, it's very nice if you want some new games on Steam. Make sure to check it out.
Yeah.
And let me go back to... This is the general MSI Z490 landing page.
Yeah, there you can find also the action and all the models.
Yes, here you can see the different segments. So you have the Enthusiast Gaming, Performance Gaming, Arsenal Gaming, the Pro Series, and on the very bottom should be our stream, right?
Inception.
There.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Which model you still want to show?
Let's continue with, oh wait, I still had our micro-atx model. Almost forgot, because we're talking about Edge. So here I have our MPG Z490M Gaming Edge Wi-Fi. So this is the little brother of the ATX model. It comes with 2 M.2 slots, even though it's a micro-atx model. This one has M.2 Shield Frozzer, this one doesn't. You have RGB lighting underneath this heatsink. Extended heatsink cooling on the VRM. Also comes with 2.5 gigabit LAN and Wi-Fi 6 connectivity from Intel, as well as Bluetooth 5.0. Then let's continue with our MPG Z490 Gaming Plus.
I think look-wise this one made the biggest jump. Unfortunately, we don't have any red anymore in the motherboard, but yeah.
For some people, that's maybe unfortunately. Others were
for
really
old guys like
to
me,
have a more neutral outlook on the
nostalgic
Gaming
people.
Plus. The benefit of a completely black board is, of course, you can combine it with so many different components, and it will continue to look good. So you also have extended heatsink design on here. You have 12-phase VRM design. It comes with integrated IO shield, 2.5 gigabit LAN. There's no Wi-Fi on this model, but still very nice looking motherboard, good VRM design for a very attractive price.
How soon will my Z490 Tomahawk will be outdated? Well, maybe never. It really depends what you want to do with it.
Yeah, and it depends on what you define as outdated.
Yeah. If it runs still the programs or games you want to play.
And it can still run a 9900K processor. That's an 8-core 16-thread processor. That's still very fast.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Indeed.
Depends a bit. Then we have our MSI Z490 Tomahawk motherboard. Maybe we can show it up close. So you might already know the look and feel that we nowadays have with our Tomahawk series motherboard.
This is exactly the same like the X570, right? AMD one.
It's a little bit different. The heatsink is a little bit different.
Of course.
X570 has the Frozr heatsink design with the fan right here.
Yeah.
This is a completely passive board. It does have the extended heatsink VRM design. Fully digital PWM with 55 amp power stages, 12 phase. It comes with dual LAN, so it has both 2.5 gigabit LAN and Intel gigabit LAN. It also has two M.2 slots right here. Both come with M.2 Shield Frozr. So yeah, very complete motherboard. Also very attractive price, decent VRM design.
Can it run Crysis Remastered? Well, we don't know yet.
Easy. Of course it can. The current generation can already do it. We cannot talk too much about performance, but what I do know is that every generation gets faster. So.
That's true.
And then, this is the only model I don't have right here.
Yeah.
This is our Z490-A Pro motherboard.
Can you please send us all boards? Yes. This one is missing. Oh.
Yes. This is our only Pro Series motherboard. So it's not targeted at gaming, but of course you can game on this. Has a 12-phase digital VRM design, extended heatsink cooling, M.2 Shield Frozr. So this is a more cost-effective model. It still comes with very nice feature set. It also has, for example, 2.5 gigabit LAN, 6-layer PCB. So it can do very high memory speeds as well. It is prepared for PCI Express Gen 4. So still a lot of cool features, even on the most entry-level model. And then
pricing.
Many people have been asking for. Let me move a little bit to this side.
This is just MSRP pricing, just to give you an idea. Which means you know how this works. In the beginning, there is still not a lot of supply, so probably some pricing will be higher. And later on you have promotion. So don't forget about the Steam voucher of $50. That is the
trade-in promotion. Yes.
Yeah, trade-in promotion. That's a huge amount if you compare it to this. Maybe not on all models. I don't know the details. Maybe
the height of the voucher depends on the model.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean all the details are in our landing page.
Yes.
On MSI.com you can find it. So these are MSRP pricing. The US is excluding VAT. Europe is including VAT, and we took 21% VAT for these calculations. And this is just to give you an idea.
Or 20, 20 or 21. It's one of the two. I believe it's 20, but
well, 1% is quite a lot of money.
It depends on the model.
it's hamburgers, 2 hamburgers.
Yeah, so this is just an indication because the retailers, of course, they can decide their own prices. It will depend per region. In one region can be slightly cheaper, in other region can be a little bit more expensive.
And at this moment, transport costs with COVID-19, transport costs are killing us. It's really difficult to get shipments on sea and air to the different places from our factories. But this will hopefully ease down as well and improve.
Yeah.
So just to give you an idea.
Yeah. So quickly make a screenshot if you still want to.
Everybody can watch this back on the live
carefully,
stream.
and otherwise you can see it on demand on YouTube. Then we already talked about this because we're actually giving away one, and I have one right here. The MAG Core Liquid 360R. So this is the 360mm model, so 360mm radiator. We also have one with the 240mm radiator.
Are you opening it up?
Yes.
No.
It's still sealed, but I want to unbox it. But I first need to make some space to be able to unbox this.
Okay.
Let me put. I'm going to put this in front of you.
In front of me.
Do you have a knife or anything like it? Scissors?
No. So maybe you
use
skip this
screwdriver.
part and I will do this next week. The unboxing.
Oh, next week unboxing?
Why not?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good idea.
I don't have a topic next week, so
we're running out of time anyway. So
yeah,
let's do it now.
So then,
okay, you can decide now. We can do either the unboxing or we can do the giveaway with the motherboard and this water cooling.
Yeah, it's not this water cooling, but you get a similar one.
Yeah, you get a similar one.
Yeah,
this one we will.
But then maybe next week I will do the unboxing of that, and people will see me struggling building this inside the PC.
I see more people for the giveaway.
Giveaway.
Yeah, so the unboxing you will still get, but it's we're a little bit short on time, so
yeah. But anyway,
we promise you the unboxing. Don't worry, you will get it. But then for today we will do the giveaway.
I'm going to do the giveaway.
The big giveaway. So Eric, what are people winning again?
That's your job.
So the person that will win this giveaway will win the MAG Core Liquid 360R, as well as the MPG Z490 Gaming Carbon Wi-Fi.
So
one very lucky winner.
Yes, the winner for this combo is Warrior Ranger.
Congratulations, Warrior Ranger.
Congratulations. We will contact you by email and then discuss on email, get your details, address, and provide you with shipping details. To be honest, I don't know when we are able to ship this. Because
this will take approximately 1 month. Of course, these
still
models
not
are
allowed
not
to
on the
ship
market yet.
Yeah.
So before we have everything ready to be shipped to you, so do know that it will take.
Warrior Ranger. Let me check if he's still in the chat. I don't know his nickname. Let me see if it's there.
Warrior Ranger is the nickname.
Yeah.
So you won the MPG Z490 Gaming Carbon Wi-Fi as well as the MAG Core Liquid 360R water cooling. And for the people who are curious about this water cooling, Eric just promised to unbox this next week.
No promise. Probably.
I heard you promise it, so make sure it happens.
Yeah. So I see people like that we give away products, but for us it's very difficult, right?
Yeah, it is difficult with the shipping because we have viewers from worldwide and we're based in the Netherlands, for example. If someone from New Zealand wins, the shipping will be a lot more expensive than the price.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's...
Anyway, I mean, we will try to do this more. No, of course, not each week. That's impossible. But we will try to do this more. Anyway, I think it's for Z490. Still will take some days, weeks until you get all the reviews online from all the different mainboards. I hope we answered all your questions. Well, most of your questions. I mean, sorry, so many people asking questions. It was impossible to keep up with the chat and to answer all the questions. Maybe I should do a Q&A next week.
I think that will be
Ask me anything next week.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
What did you have for breakfast today?
Yeah. Well, maybe I already think it's a bad idea now I mention it. Ask me anything. Anyway, please join us next week for a weekly MSI Insider live stream.
Eric just promised to unbox the water cooling next week.
Yeah.
So make sure to be here.
I should. Well, unboxing is easy. Then I'm finished in like 10 minutes.
That's true.
The problem is how to put it in a PC, and this means I need to build a complete PC.
You're going to build a PC with it. You're going to use it as well.
I don't have time for that. I need to gather all the components. Can I do Z490? Don't answer. That's NDA. That's NDA. Anyway, thank you all for joining, and see you next week, Wednesday, again, for our weekly MSI Insider live stream.
Make sure to be here again next week. Eric just made a lot of promises, so will be worth it. And see you then.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.